Happy Thursday. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Look at this beautiful thing that Cherry made for me. This is perfect. And Punksy, oh my gosh, I could not stop laughing at that freaking post you did. Let's make toast. Oh my god, the whole video, I cracked my ass up. And then at the end, well, it still makes good toast. That shit was amazing. I'm gonna play that at the beginning if you don't mind. Our main road where I live was closed down. Oh wow. Holy crap, yeah, stay safe. Holy shit. Oh, I mean, look at this logo. Look at this logo. I know. Round of a fucking... Oh, you know what? I forgot. I don't have... Oh, I wish I had it ready. Dang it. I have to go to this damn video. Well, I'm gonna do it. It deserves a fucking applause. This fucking logo is beautiful. If I could find the damn video. Oh my gosh, where did I frickin' put it? I think it's this one. No, that's not it. Oh my gosh, where did I put it? What's at the Waffle House, Kitty Kitty? Oh, come on, YouTube. Now it's going all crazy. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Fucking Cherry with the badass logo. Love it. That's freaking cool. Thank you so much, Cherry. I love this. I think I might just leave this up here for another sec. They're at the Waffle House? Oh, the Waffle House was the robbery? Wow. Yeah, be safe, please. Leave that up there for a second. I love this logo. I'm loving it. It's like the neon lights, in a way. Splatter podcast, the podcast splatter writing on it. I just love it. Thank you so much, Cherry. Amazing. And then I got my little EvilleCJ concept podcast, little circle chat bubble thingy. So cool. Oh, I love it. So excited. Okay. A lot of videos I didn't go over. Oh, is it really? A lot of videos I didn't go over last night. So we got a bunch of videos from last night. We got a bunch of videos tonight. Silky Southern Tea reached out to me and said she'll probably be joining the panel tonight, so that'll be sweet. And then maybe if Justice hops on, she'll want to join too. What's up, Cherry Cherry? I was just showing him this beautiful fucking logo that you did. There it is again, full screen. Now I got more edits. I got my intro. I got to update. There's a lot of updates and stuff I need to do with this logo. Yeah, this is fucking amazing. This is amazing. She's the one that did the little face in the top right that has the flashlight going around on it. Thank you so much, Cherry Cherry. I love it. And then my little chat bubble. Look at that little chat bubble. Isn't that? I'm starting to look professional. I'm starting to look professional. Oh, I'm so excited. She did an amazing job. She's got more in store, she says. I can't wait to see what else you got. Thank you so much. I am. I'm so excited. I said I'm gonna talk about this in the beginning of the show nonstop. Next on the docket, according to Scott Reich, I'm gonna show this. This fucking. Oh, Pugsy, you were the best. You were the fucking best. Oh my god. This fucking. Oh shoot, I gotta remove my chat feed there. Oh, this fucking. Yeah, I appreciate it. I finally have a fucking logo. I'm looking professional. Alright, but this fucking post, I'm gonna throw up Pugsy's link in the chat. So anybody in live or replay that is not following Pugsy, you got to. I laughed my ass off, and I know you will too. So here is the link for Punksy's channel, and this is the link to the current video we're going to be watching. Oh my god. And then wait until the very end. You got to pay attention at the very end, okay? You got to pay attention at the very end to what this lady says, okay? Oh, Punksy, you are the fucking best. I love you. All right, here we go. Make sure we got it turned up. Oh, this is the best. I love you.
Right here where it says put one slice, we heard, I am the devil.
What kind of voice did the devil have?
A very low voice, I'd say sounded like Eli Wallach.
Have you saved any of this satanic toast?
Yes, I did save it because I wanted to be sure that somebody else would see it. Now this one, can you see that, Richard? Satan lives. Just terrible.
Is the toaster still possessed?
We still have trouble off and on with it, yes. Oh, see now it's
At this moment,
it seems to be aware.
She's so worried.
Oh.
Why have you kept this toaster?
Well, Richard, when all is said and done, it makes good toast.
Richard, when all is said and done, it makes good toast.
Right here where it says put one slice.
Oh, this is the
we
best,
heard,
Pugsy.
I am the devil.
What kind of voice did the devil have?
A very low voice, I'd say sounded like Eli Wallach.
Have you saved any of this satanic toast?
Yes, I did save it because I wanted to be sure that somebody else would see it. Now this one, can you see that, Richard? Satan lives. Just terrible.
Is the toaster still possessed?
We still have trouble off and on with it, yes. Let's see now.
I just wondered that.
It seems to be aware. Oh!
Why have you kept this toaster?
Well, Richard, you know, when all is said and done, it makes good toast.
That is the best. The fucking ending to that. Oh my god. It was beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful. I'm telling you. And I can't wait. And Kim Kitty was asking, so Punxley will be starting lives next year. I can't wait. I will definitely be supporting the shit out of you. Thank you so much, Punxsy. That shit was funny as hell. And then tagged, I need your address. Shit, the hell you do? Oh, that was great. I love it. Yeah, definitely check out. Yes, very soon. I can't wait. Yeah, Cherry, definitely check out all of her community posts. They are so, you know, you got the serious, heartfelt ones, but you got some of them that are just funny as fuck. It's a good mixture. It's a really good mixture. I love them. I love them. Right, Kim Kitty? I saw Punxsy put that in one of the first messages. I was just, yeah, here it is. Let's make toast. Oh my god. I love it. Yes. We will all be there. And when you start doing lives, Punxsy, hop on and hell, you can hop on open panel anytime you'd want to promote your live shows and all that stuff. Seriously. So whenever you're ready, I know you got a bunch of other channels and stuff you'll probably hop on, but whenever you are ready, you're always more than welcome to hop up on panel and promote the shit out of your show, your lives coming up, and all that good stuff. I would love to have you sometime. Whenever you'd want, just let me know. Yeah, for sure. That's with anybody. Anybody that would like to come up and say something, you know, here, I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. If anybody does. It's been long enough, you know what I'm saying? I just, you know, when that shit happened at the beginning of the show and somebody else's words caused issues, you know, it just made me I had to just be a little more cautious about who I let up in panel, but it's been long enough. Everybody that's been in chat has been very supportive long enough. Nobody's been out of bounds, so I don't worry at all about anybody in our community, you know, doing something like that again. And so, seriously, anybody would like to come up, you're more than welcome to, no doubt. It's been long enough, so. Okay, we got a bunch of videos to go over. Let me scroll through everything you wrote. Oh, yes. Speaking of Silky Southern Tea, I do want to put her newest video out there. She might be joining the show tonight, the panel. So it would be lovely. She's always good times up here. Yeah, we have a great community. I love it. Like everybody, you know, and even this last week with all these new subs I'm getting and all of the new people coming in here, everybody has been, and I'm serious, I am dead serious. Like, I sit back and I'm just in awesome times of how welcoming everybody is to the new people. And, it's just, it makes me feel good inside seeing all of that take place. And it really means a lot to me. It really does. Um, and I love you being a part of it, Punksy, as well. I love everybody because I look forward to getting on every night. I don't look at this as like a potential employment or anything like that. I look at this is a lot of fun to me, and I can't wait. It's one of the reasons why I've only had 3 nights off since I started this show. Is because I love it so much, and I have so much fun with everybody that it's almost like a routine now where if I'm not if I'm not on, or if I'm not doing a show, or even during the day, like when I'm not on a show and I got one coming up, I just can't wait. I just can't wait to get on here and hang out with everybody. Did you ever rewatch the most 50? Don't know. Well, no, I didn't, Cherry. I haven't yet. Actually, I forgot about it just because of the amount of emails that I do get. But we kind of figured something out last night when it came to here. While we're talking about her, let me throw her. My bad. Let me throw her link to this video up here too. Well, here's the thing. I had got the stream. Do they have toasters? Oh my god, I love that video. Oh my god. You're gonna throw me off all night, Punksy. Cherry. Okay, well, because I'm not monetized, right? I didn't think that it would necessarily clarify as a strike or something. I'm just confused with all this, okay? So when I was doing my what is it? The Christmas, I was on Christmas and I was doing my sports stuff, and the stream got shut down. This one right here. When I was doing my Christmas show and my stream got shut down because I was doing sports, right? I was just, it was like, it ain't no thing, whatever. Okay, well, we were talking last night and they were like, we're all under the assumption that these are technically strikes. And so within 30 days, if your stream gets shut down within 30 days, or 3 times within 90 days, I mean, if it gets shut down 3 times within 90 days, then your channel could be taken away forever. All your videos you put up, gone for good. Your channel just doesn't exist, and any linking shit that goes with it won't exist either. So since we are talking about this, I want to say again, if anything ever happens to my show on YouTube, I want you all to know I do the same damn show on Twitch. I do the same damn show on Facebook. So if for one day, for some reason, I just don't exist, I want you all to know that you can see and have the same show on Twitch. So I'm gonna throw up my Twitch link in the chat. It's a really blurry screen, is it? How's that? I'll throw my link up to Twitch. So if I ever disappear on YouTube, Pugsy. If I ever disappear on YouTube, I'm going to be on Twitch. I'm on Twitch. I stream secondary to Twitch just as a secondary thing. But I'm just letting you guys know, and anybody else that's watching this video now, later, whenever, if I don't exist on YouTube, I will be on there. I can do a hell of a lot more on there than I can on YouTube, but I just prefer YouTube. So I just wanted to let everybody know. So I don't know if we can watch that, Cherry. I have to be very. I'm at the 2-month period. Okay, I've had my show for about 2 months now. It's been 2 times now. Because the first time was when we were watching UFO stuff. That was in the beginning of my show. One of the first couple weeks of the show, we were watching YouTube stuff. Yeah, thank you, Punksy. I'm just letting everybody know. If it does happen, I'll always be on Twitch, 7 o'clock Central every night, if I can't exist on YouTube anymore. I guess I got 2. Because the first one was from UFO stuff. The first one was from UFO stuff in the first couple weeks of the show. And then the last one was on Christmas when I was trying to do some sports because I wanted to introduce some sports into the podcast. But I guess I can't do that. So right now, I don't, maybe in a month and a half, remind me about that video, Cherry. Because then I'll be good. But as of right now, the rest of the next month or so, it's just going to be strictly, unless I have more clarification on if this is a strike or not, because I don't know. But I'm just going to be sticking to like your local, your national, and some of the content creators that we use a lot that, I always credit anyway, like crazy anyway. But what if you stop I don't know. I'm not familiar with it, Punksy. So maybe we did play the videos a little long. I don't know. Do you know anything about that? Do you know kind of the general stuff? I'm new to all this stuff for real. Like, I'm totally brand new. What you've seen is the last 2 months of me figuring this whole YouTube stuff out. The ATS news would definitely. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would just like to. Yeah. It is weird because I see other people do it, but I'm just not sure because I would love to have a couple nights where it's just a sports show. Seriously. I mean, just sports. It'd be great. Yeah, I'll have to. I know she's busy. I'll see if I can dig through my emails. See if I can find her email and see if I can reach out to her sometime about that. Just kind of some do's, don'ts, general knowledge about all that stuff or whatever. I know everybody's busy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we might check that out. I would love to check that out, but I'm probably just to play it safe, I'm probably just gonna just play it safe for a little bit until I get more clarification. I mean, I didn't think that these were strikes because I never saw the word strike in the freaking email. But then when we were talking about it, they're like, yeah, I think that was a strike. I'm like, huh, okay. All right, so this is Silky Southern Tea's newest video about the Idaho 4. So I'm going to throw that link into the chat as well. And I know I put her channel up there somewhere. There it is. All right, so here's the link to her channel there. 19-minute video. You know what? If she's going to come up on panel tonight, I'll let her save what she has on that video and her opinions, I will let her say that on the show. I just wanted to let y'all know she's got a new video out. And I'm going to start off with this Ryan Hall, y'all, because we do love weather here too. This is his channel. I'm going to go ahead and play a little snippet of what we got coming up for the new weather in the next couple weeks here, just so everybody can stay safe. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't watch the local weather, and I'm one of them. So it's nice to know what's going on, just a good idea. And this guy, he's the best on YouTube. Damn straight. Ryan Hall, y'all. If you ain't following him, you need to, because when your power goes out and you ain't got no internet, you can always turn your phone on, turn YouTube on, watch Ryan Hall, be totally updated with up-to-the-minute warnings, notifications, and be safe because it's on your phone. So definitely follow Ryan Hall, y'all, for your weather, especially when we got some nasty weather coming up in my area in the next week, possible winter tornadoes. I'm telling you, this is probably definitely going to come in hand if the power goes out and I need to go to the frickin' basement.
After the coldest Christmas in decades, a huge warm-up is about to begin across the eastern U.S. And at the same time, a relentless train of storms is setting up across the west coast that could lead to over 10 feet of snow in the mountains. When these two air masses meet in the center of the country, things will get chaotic with a chance for more widespread snow, damaging winds, and even wintertime tornadoes. It's really crazy to think about how just a few days ago, we were dealing with one of the coldest Arctic outbreaks of a lot of our lifetimes so far. 28 people are dead in Buffalo, New York alone. This was one of the worst blizzards they have ever seen. The storm as a whole took the lives of 89 people, including citizens from Canada, Wisconsin, Ohio, and even Tennessee and Mississippi. And now, almost immediately after...
And another reason I feel personally he is the best weatherman on YouTube is because this dude donates like a motherfucker. Donates like a motherfucker. And it doesn't matter where the storm's at, it's happening. Seriously, if you're not following or subbing on this guy on YouTube, you definitely need to.
After that, we are warming up across a lot of the hardest areas in a significant degree. Look at how this model shows places seeing 30 to 40 degree above average temperatures early next week. As early as Monday, January 2nd, we could see highs in the 60s, 70s, and 80s across a lot of the southeastern U.S. And those warmer temperatures are going to try to push their way into the northeast as we head deeper into the week. I mean, look at that, 60 degrees in Detroit on the 3rd. But even before this big warm wave takes over, temperatures on New Year's Day are going to be much higher than they were on Christmas Day in this region. Check this out. The high temp in Boston on day was 27 degrees, and on New Year's Day, it's going to be 56. In Nashville, Tennessee, it was 31 degrees on Christmas Day, and it'll be 65 on New Year's. And then take a look at the difference in New Orleans, where it'll be 75 on New Year's Day, which is a lot nicer than the 45 they were at on Christmas Day. All this sounds really great, but it comes at a cost. Whenever we get a big warm heat wave bubble like this that forms up in the east in the winter, a blast of cold air almost always tries to knock it back into the Atlantic. When that happens, the clashing of warm and cold air can create some downright scary storms. And it really looks like that's going to happen next week as we have the warmth in place. Cool air will be coming in to push it away. But one of the many other things we need for a big severe weather outbreak is moisture. And oh boy, do we have moisture to talk about. Some of you in the probably going to appreciate at least some of what I'm getting ready to tell you. Take a look at the latest drought monitor. Okay, it's dry out there. But here's the thing. The snow, the rain, the precipitation that you're looking for is coming, but it might actually be too much. Starting earlier this week and continuing into the foreseeable future, we are going to see intermittent rivers of water onto the west coast from the Pacific Ocean. This is going to work similarly to the Siberian Express that brought all that cold air into the country around Christmas. But this time it's warm, moist Pacific air that's being chucked into the lower 48. Meteorologists literally call these intense moisture flows atmospheric rivers. Imagine this big low pressure center in the Pacific Ocean is a Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack mud tire. Now imagine the tropical moisture.
And they're talking about like a ton of snow. That's back, huh? You need me to go back? Like right here.
This week and continuing into the foreseeable future, we are going to see about. Some of you in the West are probably going to appreciate at least some of what I'm getting ready to tell you. Take a look at the latest drought monitor. Okay, it's dry out there, but here's the thing: the snow, the rain, the precipitation that you're looking for is coming, but it might actually be too much. Starting earlier this week and continuing into the foreseeable future, we are going to see intermittent rivers of water in the air pour onto the West Coast from the Pacific Ocean. This is going to work similarly to the Siberian Express that brought all that cold air into the country around Christmas, but this time it's warm, moist Pacific air that's being chucked into the lower 48. Meteorologists literally call these intense moisture flows atmospheric rivers. Imagine this big low pressure center in the Pacific Ocean is a Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack mud tire. Now imagine the tropical moisture in the atmosphere over the Pacific is mud. Now buddy, hit the gas. Not only atmospheric rivers. Imagine this big low pressure center in the Pacific Ocean is a Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack mud tire.
Damn, he was descriptive with that tire, wasn't he?
Now, imagine the troposphere over the Pacific is mud. Now, buddy, hit the gas. And not only are we going mudding, but the counterclockwise flow splatters this moisture across the West Coast, and especially along the mountain range, it condenses and falls.
That's a good way to describe it. Huh. Like, I always wondered why some, like, they move counterclockwise, and then when he showed it, like, that's how the storms do. Huh.
Splatters this moisture the west, especially along the mountain ranges, it condenses and falls as rain or snow. And once again, these atmospheric river events are going to continue to happen on a consecutive basis through early January. One of the bigger ones will occur this weekend and bring an additional 6 to 8 inches of rain to the Bay Area and several feet of snow to the Sierras. So if we take a look at the GFS all the way out to January 13th, we're looking at some precipitation totals over 2 inches and a widespread chunk of the western U.S. getting over 2 to 4 inches. I promise this is going to lead to some pretty significant flash flooding and mudslides. So if you live in an area that's prone to this, please be prepared for that. Oh, and also over the next 350 hours or so, some of the mountaintops out here in California could see over 10 feet of snow. It's going to go right.
Some of the California 10 feet.
Mountaintops out here in California could see over 10 feet of sno.
Oh,
so
my
all
gosh.
This moisture in the west is.
So then that's going to create floodings when it gets warmer then. Because the water, the 10 feet of snow is going to run down the... Oh my gosh, there's going to be flooding too?
So relentless that a good chunk is going to go right over the Rocky Mountains.
So this is where the warm up, the big 30 to 40 degree warm up is coming right here. So it's going to be 30 to 40 degrees warmer than it was on... It'll be 30 to 40 degrees warmer on New Year's than it will be on Christmas. I know, you're good, Cherry. I've had to reset my internet a lot too. It's these, I don't know if it's this cold weather and it just wreaked havoc on the wires. I don't know.
Mountains and in plains. When that moisture combines with the warm air coming out of the south and the cooler air filtering in.
These are such cool graphics too. Definitely the best weatherman on YouTube, damn it.
And from the north, and we really start to see the counterclockwise action start to take place in our deepening storm system, things are going to get even wilder. First of all, up north, we're going to have another blizzard with strong winds and heavy snow.
See, Kid Kitty? Like it's going to be 30 to 40 degrees. What was it on Christmas? Do you remember? This is crazy. And then you got 10 feet of snow going up to the mountains in California. Oh my gosh, I have a feeling that's going to cause some flooding. I'm no
down south.
I'm no meteorologist though. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong.
It's looking like another severe weather situation is about to unfold. Not just me saying this. The official meteorological powerhouse known as the Storm Prediction Center is sounding the alarm by highlighting this area under a rare day 5 risk for severe weather. They're also already talking about the potential for tornadoes, which is once again pretty rare for a day 5 forecast in the winter. The reason for this confidence is because of the warm sector associated with this storm. Just look at the widespread juicy air here with dew points in the 60s all the way up into the Ohio Valley on Monday. Now watch that warm moist air get kicked out of the way by cool dry air being forced in by our deepening storm system. Along this line is where the storms are going to be. Go ahead.
I didn't know that cold air could do that shit to warm air. Because heat rises, right? So that's weird that cold. Why? I wonder why it is that cold air can do that to warm air and warm air can't just push the cold air back or something. I wonder why that is. Like one is stronger than the other. Thank you for hopping in, Punksy, and thank you for that funny as hell video. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. I wonder why cold air is so much stronger than warm air. That's pretty neat. That's crazy how it just pushes it out of the way.
Forecast in the winter. Further confidence is because of the warm sector associated with this storm. Just look at the widespread juicy air here with dew points in the 60s all the way up into the Ohio Valley on Monday. Now watch that warm moist air get kicked out of the way by cool dry air being forced in by our deepening storm system. Along this line is where the...
I apologize. I've been really trying to do the day ones, and it just hasn't been working out the last couple days. I will try my hardest tomorrow, Punksy, and I will have them. I'm definitely going to be streaming a lot longer New Year's Eve. I'm just going to be hanging out at home, so I'm probably just going to stream, and I'm actually going to probably... I'm going to do my painting no matter what, even if it's a shitty setup. I just can't get a good setup for the painting, but whether it's shitty or not, I'm going to be doing it New Year's Eve. So probably before the show, maybe after. I'm not sure yet. Probably before. But I'll try my hardest to get on tomorrow afternoon, early afternoon or such.
The storms are going to be. Go ahead, throw in some 60 to 70 winds, just surface, and your recipe for disaster if storms can continue into the night. And right now, it does look like some of those storms are going to do just that, with potential severe weather happening into the morning hours on Tuesday. This kind of setup is known for producing tornadoes out there, so it's an additional concern that we might really have to worry about naders in the dark. Remember, we're still 5 days out. We're going to know so much more about timing and exact hazards with this storm as we get closer. But right now...
That sounds like a movie, Naders in the Dark.
It looks generally convenient, but that kind of being overlooked here is the flooding concern. Not just in the West, where, yes, it's going to be a huge problem, but the leftover moisture and combined amplification from the Gulf of Mexico will lead to some pretty big rain totals across a lot of the U.S. as well. Basically, if you live anywhere in the orange or the red or the purple on this map and you live in a flood-prone area, please be weather aware as we to the new year. Also, of course, if in the yellow on this map, be double extra weather aware, whether you're in a tornado prone area or not. And I'm not kidding. Being prepared is one of the most important things you can do in a situation like this. I often say, don't be scared, be prepared, because when you're calm, cool, and collected, it's easier to make decisions and ultimately get yourself and your family to shelter in an emergency situation. A lot of you watching this are already prepared, especially if you're watching me. But what about when things happen at night when you're trying to go to sleep? And what about when the power goes out and when cell phone towers go down? In those situations, I highly recommend getting a NOAA weather radio if you want to take the next step towards being as prepared as you possibly can be. These things are awesome, and they tune into your local National Weather Service and give you the latest alerts, whether you have power or not. They run off batteries, or you can plug them into the wall if you want to, and you'll be able to listen to that, and it will wake you up in the middle of the night. If there's a tornado warning or a flash flood warning, this thing is going to scream at you. We got a bunch of different versions on the website, shopryanhall.com. This one is like, it's got a flashlight on it. You can crank it to power it. You don't even have to worry about having charged batteries, and it charges your phone. I mean, like, there's just a lot of different use cases for these, but I think that these should be as prominent in houses as like carbon monoxide detectors or fire detectors. These things save lives. So
Damn,
go on
that
over to
beep was loud.
shopryanhall.com. There's a link in the description and get you one of
Yes, definitely. Here, let me exit the full screen so his website pops up. Let me back up a little bit. Here we go.
cell phone towers go down. In those situations, I highly recommend getting a no-weather radio if you want to take the next step towards being as prepared as you possibly can be. These things are awesome, and they tune into your local National Weather Service and give you the latest alerts, whether you have power or not. They run off batteries, or you can plug them into the wall if you want to, and you'll be able to listen to that, and it will wake you up in the middle of the night. If there's a tornado warning or a flash flood warning, this thing is going to scream at you. We got a bunch of different versions on the website, shopryanhall.com. This one is like, it's got a flashlight on it. You can crank it to power it. You don't even have to worry about having to use your phone. I mean, that's just a lot of different uses for these, but I think that these should be as prominent in houses as like carbon monoxide detectors or fire detectors. These things save lives. So go on over to shopryanhall.com. There's a link in the description, and get you one of these things right now. And we're going to ship it to you as fast as we can. But while you're waiting, go ahead and go over your tornado action plan or your flash flood action plan. That way, when this thing goes off, you and everybody in your household knows what you're going to do. And I promise your odds of getting through a bad situation exponentially increase as long as you do those things. So thank you for watching, and thank you for support. You don't have to buy this from me. You can get it, but if you want to get it from me, obviously it helps me out. shopryanhall.com. Hey, super huge shout out to all of our members over here.
What a great video. That dude is the best. Oh, wow. Yeah, Kib Kitty. There's a book that he wrote, and yeah, that's probably who it was. I think this took place back in the 70s. It's probably happening because he wrote a book about it. Well, it was in the book, so that's probably why. Because I did hear a book came out and he wrote stuff in a book, and I mean, there's legal documents. There's legal documents. Oh, you're driving? Do you have to drive? We promoted your new video from today. Oh my gosh, you missed a great video from Punksy. I'll play it again. Well, you won't be able to. You're driving. Definitely go to the beginning of the show and watch the beginning of the show sometime, Silky. Are you going to be able to join the panel tonight, or are you going to have to? You're going to be driving. And if you're able to look at the screen real quick, you got to look at this new logo that Cherry made for me. Holy crap. This logo is, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. It just fits me so perfect. It really does. And then you got the flashlight, for the true crime effect up in the top right. It's so cool. Thank you so much again, Cherry. I love this logo and all the work that you did to help make it happen. Thank you. All right. So we had to watch that Ryan Hall, y'all. Definitely sub to him. Best weatherman on YouTube. Period. So we got some tornadoes coming in my area next week. It's always good to have a heads up on that. Okay. Totally understand. Well, I appreciate you hanging out and listening. We got a lot of videos to go over. There's some I didn't go over last night. Some I got to go over tonight. So let me go up to the day ago. Here, let me scroll down and see if there's anything crazy breaking, which I don't think there is. They surrender their passports. We already knew that. Funhouse fairy tale was somebody's nightmare. We'll see. Was one because it was. Ooh, that's a Banfield video. Let's check out Banfield.
So if it had been busy in the past, that would actually be counterintuitive. Of people who commit these sorts of crimes, who plan them, who plot them, they stalk, they might case the joint, but they don't want surprises. They don't want crowds. They don't want a busy house. So I think that the fact that there wasn't anything going on in the house that night at all, and again, we don't even know, the killer could have been inside the house when the people came home hiding. I don't think it's related at all that it was a party house. I think it just gives us a lot of insight into the residents of that house and the kind of house that it was.
All right, makes sense. So Robin, police are saying they believe someone is out there with information or a picture from that night that will turn out to be the missing piece that cracks this case. So how do we interpret that request?
I like the word they used, someone. Someone means it's very specific, yet not being very specific towards an individual. In other words, I don't think they actually have a specific individual in mind. If they did, they'd already be in contact and interviewing them. The word someone triggers everyone who might have something to dig a little deeper. And what they're really trying to do is they're equipping the general population with knowledge of how to be present and really be change experts. Because if we have confirmation bias or we're looking for a killer, you might miss everything else that might be relevant. So they're trying to help the public really dig deep and think to themselves, what looks different? What did I see different? What do I have that might be different? And that's what they want people to bring forward.
Okay.
Thank you for watching.
I mean, I don't know. What are you supposed to find out of that anyway? But that's interesting. He thinks they don't know. Search for one white Elantra just got curiouser and curiouser. What? I want to hear about this one. Yeah, they've been having that stuff going on for a long time, Kid Kitty. It's crazy. All the skinned animals up there, you know. This is a link to True Crime Rocket Science. This is what his page looks like. And then I'm going to throw up a link to the video that we're about to watch here in a second.
Just got curiouser and curiouser. And to be honest, when I read the headline on Fox News, 90 white elantras, I initially read 90 white elephants. And isn't that, in a way, what it feels like we're looking for? It's like a white elephant that you just cannot see. You just cannot find. It's there. You just can't see it. Moscow PD are making progress. Since 3 weeks ago, when they first mentioned the white elantra, they seem to have whittled down a haystack of 22,000 elantras to just 90. Certainly if we take our cue from Fox News. And in a sense, maybe from 90 elantras to just one shining needle. According to the article, and I'll put a link to it in the description, quote, partially redacted public records obtained by Fox News Digital show 90 white Hyundai elantras have been registered for campus parking. Obviously, that's the University of Idaho campus parking between the start of the fall 2018 semester and December 2022. Well, that narrows it down, doesn't it? In the primary contact field, many were left blank. However, the document included numbers for all but one of the cars. Well, isn't that our needle? Before we get to the rest of this episode, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. to the many thousands of you who have subscribed, welcome to the channel. We at this channel we try to be curious in our approach. We try not to come up with a scenario right in the beginning and then defend it like it's a fortress and we are soldiers defending the fortress. We try to actively
I hear you, Kib Kitty. I'm subscribed to a lot as well. It can definitely get overwhelming, that's for sure.
And so instead of sensationalizing, instead of drab
SRB, good evening.
do is find the facts and put those facts together in a cogent scenario. If that's the kind of thing you're interested in, if you're interested in true crime, and if you're enjoying this episode, please like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So I want to draw your attention to this image from the document. It's redacted, but it is a document that Fox News found, I think, through a public records request. And you can obviously go to the link to get, there's a little bit that is cut off from the document, but you can mostly see what is needed to see here. Now, if I'm reading this chart right, the odd one out of the 90 is 6 from the bottom. It may also be the only vehicle where a VIN had to be provided. Now, although that VIN may be a clue, it may be the clue that breaks this mystery camel's back. It may also be the reason why the cops can't narrow the focus down from 90 to 1. Wouldn't it be easy if you simply found, if there was simply a license plate on some of that CCTV footage? Wouldn't that make it so much easier? Wouldn't it be easy if you had some of the usual suspects that everyone thinks has committed this crime? Well, you simply go into their garage, see the vehicle, and it's case closed. Well, if it was that simple, why is this case not over yet?
If it's so simple, why haven't
Holy
you done
shit,
it?
the audio.
Now, the fact that they've got a VIN number but not a license plate number may be the reason why the cops can't narrow the focus down from 90 to 1 and instead have to expand it from 1 to 22,000. Now, you can also see from the chart, there seems to be no certainty in which state the mystery vehicle is based either. According to the article, quote, the university website shows total enrollment last semester at 11,500. Now, of course, as time goes by and it becomes more and more frustrating, we are frustrated in our efforts to track down this vehicle. The question does start arising, well, is this vehicle driven by a student? Is the suspect a student? And even if the answer is yes to both those questions, is it a student from Moscow? And we are going to be dealing with that question in an upcoming episode. Did the student that committed this crime actually come from a neighboring university? In any event, using the original analogy, how do you search for a needle in a haystack? If you compare the search for this vehicle, how do you find the Elantra you want out of a haystack of 22,000? And I mean, this is really a test of critical thinking, not only critical thinking, but strategic and scientific thinking. What kind of system do you have in terms of your thinking approach? Now, if you're smart, you don't just dive blindly into the haystack and feel around hoping you get lucky. Of course, there is what do they call it? Traditional police work that requires that you do that you do take things step by step, that you do have boots on the ground, knocking on doors, right? But you also need to take another approach. You only restrict yourself to traditional police work, right? You have a better not knowing what you're looking for and getting lost in the forest of hay. Also, it taking a very long time. And you might be giving the suspect a head start in terms of time. Now, the smarter way to find a needle in a haystack is to simply apply a magnet. But that's...
Okay, I'm kind of curious what exactly was curious.
What it feels like we're looking for. It's like a white elephant that you just cannot see. You just cannot find. It's there. You just can't see it. Moscow PD are making progress. Since 3 weeks ago, when they first mentioned the white elantra, they seem to have whittled down a haystack of 22,000 elantras to just 90. Certainly, if we take our cue from Fox News. And in a sense,
Fox News has a link about this?
maybe from 90 elantras to just one shining needle. According to the article, and I'll put a link to it in the description.
All right, cool. Here it is. Beautiful. Fox News. Yeah, thank you for hopping in, SRB. You gotta check out this new logo here. Let's see here. Look at this. Cherry made this for me today. Oop, let me get rid of the thing here. Look at this logo. I love it. Thank you again, Cherry. I don't know if you're back. She said she had to reset her internet or something. I know. Look at that. It's like perfect. It's the splatter writing for the and podcast. And then it's got like the neon looking. I know. I love it. I'm so excited about it. So excited. She says she's got more stuff in the works too, to stay tuned. I said, okay. Thank you. I love it. I'm so excited. Got the little flashlight CJ up there, you know. Where'd they go? She says she's got something special coming up for that one with the flashlight thing. So I'm excited. Thank you, Cherry, again. All right, let's see what this news article says here. 90 white Elantras were registered to park on campus as cops. Are you serious? That many freaking white Elantras existed in the area? What? I'm shocked. I mean, freaking okay. It's got a population, a school students 11,500, and there's 90 freaking white Hyundai Elantras registered to park at the school. I'm in awe. Like, I'm in awe. Like, that's crazy. Wow. Frickin' 90 frickin' cars. Isn't that crazy? All registered but one. They have VIN number of that one. Ooh. I bet it's heating up. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I bet it's heating up. If they got the VIN number, I thought it was odd. He said they got the VIN number, but not the plate. And I'm like, well, how in the hell do you get a VIN number if you don't even know what freaking car you're looking for? But wow. Oh, it's gonna heat up. Something's gonna be popping off soon, huh? That's a good article right there. Let me save that one. Wow. 90 frickin' white Hyundai Elantras were registered to park on campus. And then there's one. Maybe on something. Yeah. I know you were one of the first people in the chat that started talking about how you feel they have somebody in mind. And it was that hunch, It's that hunch. Wow. They got the VIN number. It sounds like it's going to be heating up soon. Hopefully. Because it needs to. Breaking. Let's see. 7 weeks later. Something came out earlier that might be possible announcement tomorrow by police. Not sure. Really? Ooh. Getting that hunch? Oh, I'm going to try my damnedest to be on in the afternoon tomorrow. I don't know what the fuck happened today. I woke up. I didn't get to bed. Shit. I think I was up till... It was like 4 something. Then I got like maybe a half hour nap. Then I was up. Then I went to bed at, I don't know, like 7. And then all of a sudden I slept through all my damn alarms. I set alarms for 11. Slept through all my damn alarms, and then I didn't wake up till like 3:30. I was like, holy shit. So if there's gonna be an announcement, shoot, maybe I need to be on at like 10 in the morning and be streaming for like 6 hours during the day and then still hop on at night. House is starting to be cleaned tomorrow as well. Wow. Oh my gosh. I really need to be on in the daytime tomorrow, don't I? Holy crap. Damn. Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice, though, because at least one of these is going to be... Ooh, so I need to be paying attention to my videos from today and not the ones from yesterday, then. Wow, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Your guys' hunch. Damn. Thank you so much for hanging out. And when you guys came in, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, how in the hell is anything close? You guys talking that shit, but I entertain everything. You have to. And wow. Maybe I do need to be on tomorrow during the daytime then. Shit. We played Jackbox Party Pack last night. There's a whole bunch of us from the show that hopped over on Twitch. Played Jackbox Party Pack, Trivia Murder Party and such. And I'll throw that out there for anybody in chat or on replay that ever would like to join Jackbox Party Pack. Trivia Murder Party was a blast. I pulled out the win at the end too. It was crazy. I didn't even think I was going to be able to do it, but I did. Right at the fucking end. It was fucking awesome. What a game. What a game. And then we played Guespionage, and then I got 5th. I got 5th place in that. Oh my gosh. All you have to do, SRB, is click on that link. It'll take you to the app to download it. And then you just verify your email and then follow me and oh my gosh, I wonder if I'd get in trouble for playing that. It's my own shit, right? Though I can't get in trouble for playing my own shit, right? I'll give you guys just a couple snippets of what it looks like. Oh my gosh, Trivia Murder Party. When we all talk about true crime and then we play Trivia Murder Party, it's just, oh my gosh. You know what? It's my shit. I don't think I can get in trouble. All right. Yeah, this is EvilleCJ's on Twitch. Yeah, it is. You just click on the link. It'll take you to the app to download it. You download the app, verify your email, and then all you do is follow me and then make sure your bell notification is on for the stream thing. And shit, it is. And I leave up my past streams on there too. It's a different setup than the show setup. It's a different, I have like a background behind me and all that shit for my Twitch stuff. But it's fun as hell. Yeah, this is what we played last night. I'll just play a couple snippets of it here, just to give you guys an idea. It was so much fun. All right, so this is. I didn't have my camera on last night when I played Jackbox. I do on my other games, but with Jackbox I don't, because I don't want to cover up the game screen, and you'll see what I'm saying here. So I'll just play a little snippets. Yeah, what most people do, SRB, do you have like, if you have any kind of device that you can watch Twitch on? So what you're going to be seeing on this screen right now is you're going to be seeing what you would be watching the game show on, and then most people use their phone to be the contestant. So you use your phone to enter the room code and then the name, and then you pick your little character. And then that's how you pick your answers, and you put in your answers and stuff. But you watch, most people will use like I have an Xbox, and some people use like Xbox. So they'll get on Twitch on their Xbox, they'll watch it on their TV. If they don't have a game system and they have like a computer or a tablet, they'll watch the show on the computer or the tablet. Most people will use their phone to be the contestant. If that makes sense. Sorry if it's confusing. It really is easy. But see here, what you do is, so you're watching this. What's on the screen right now is what you're watching on the Twitch game show. And then on your phone, you type in the name for the person. So we got EvilleCJ right here. Cherry was there. Kelp joined. Luna. And then there's more people that can join. And then you just type in the room code on your phone. And then boom, you're in the game. Let me see it right now. Can't you make this? I figure out. Yeah. I mean, you could even hang out and just watch us all play it too. It's always cool. This is what it looks like though. And that's the room code stuff. Ooh, I better turn this
Okay.
on.
I usually just sub to min.
All right. Here, let me
All right,
play
well,
part of the game here.
Sub to.
Welcome to the killing floor. I'm going to ask you.
Looks like Kelt's on the killing floor.
Put a little thought into this. It's important. What is absolutely the best song to make out to?
So it asks you like trivia questions, and then if you get the answers wrong, then it puts you in a killing mini game, and you got to try and survive it. And so it does that. There's different questions it's going to ask you. It'll give you it'll ask you what finger you want to cut off if you die. Just different trivia questions. It's all trivia based. You know, what NFL quarterback's mom appeared in a series of commercials for Campbell's Chunky Soup. You know, and then at the end you have the killing floor. Okay. Ooh, that's where I pulled out the win. And you can definitely, I leave my past streams up there too, so you can definitely watch our game show. Here, I'll leave the link to the video in a minute if you want to check it out. But this is the killing floor. You have to keep answering the trivia questions. Most of it's multiple choice. And then this is another game called Guesspionage, where it's all about percentages. So it'll ask you questions like, let me see here. What percentage of people will not say anything to strangers in elevators unless the strangers speak first? And then you have to answer the question, right? And you get different options like lower, higher, much lower. It's all percentage based. So each person will get their turn to come up and pick what exact percentage they think the answer is. And then everybody else gets to choose whether it's lower or higher, much lower. And then they get money based off of that too. So I'm telling you, the Jackbox stuff is so amazing, and it helps everybody feel involved. So it was such a great time last night. I'll put the link to the video itself in chat here once I switch to my other screens. But yeah, it's so much fun. You just participate with your phone, and you have another way that you can watch it, because you have to be able to watch this part on the game show, but then have your phone to be able, or you could use another device to participate. You can use anything that uses a web browser. So you don't have to download anything. It just takes you to your mobile phone web browser, your tablet web browser, your computer web browser. The link for this is jackbox.tv. That's how you get in it. And then it's fun as shit. So I just wanted to oh yeah, definitely check it out. It's so much fun, especially Trivia Murder Party. When you can take the true crime community like we had last night, and then we all went and played some true crime, where everybody's a contestant. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to watch like Wheel of Fortune at home and be able to be a contestant? It's so much fun. The technology is so awesome. All right, enough about that. Let's go back to the folder here. I just want to hear, is this Banfield? Probably not, because it doesn't say, but I do like watching News Nation, so I do want to see what, even though we might not get not much from this, I do want to check it out. Yeah, it's so much fun. And then I'll throw that link up here in a second since we're playing something else.
I'd like to welcome forensics professor Joseph Scott Morgan State University. Joseph, thank you so much for being here. So we'll dive right in. Based on Nancy's reporting, do you get the sense the town is getting back to normal and this case is no longer top of mind for residents? And how does that impact law enforcement's energy in this investigation?
No, it's not. It's not removed from their mind. It's forefront. They're probably just getting used to the idea that that this is going to be part and parcel of their life for weeks and months to come, perhaps years.
Crap.
And they're getting used to seeing news trucks there. It's a new paradigm for them in this environment, and they're adjusting to it. That one young man made a very salient comment, though. He said that this, in his opinion at least, and I'm paraphrasing here, that this is just the way things are perceived, at least. And we had us urge everyone to be very, very patient in this case, because the answers to this case rest in the science, I believe. At the end of the day, we have a lot of hyperbole that's bouncing about. We have a lot of static on social media. And granted, the nation can't get enough of this case, but at the end of the day, it's going to come back to the evidence that they collected at the scene and the processing that's been going on for all of these weeks. And, in the whole grand scheme of things, Kelly, this is not a long time. Now, there are certain probably completion now from a testing standpoint, but still we come back to the elephant in the room, DNA. it, as I have held from the beginning, it takes
I like
a
this
while
guy
to
too.
unspool all of this because it's multi-layered.
I like this guy.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So in these types of cases, is it more likely that the killer is lurking locally or that this person or persons fled the area?
Well, in this charming little town, this is not a place that you wind up in by accident. Okay, you have to be purposed to be going there. Just like the person that committed this crime that night, we're into, I don't know, the 6th week, heading into the 7th, I guess. They were purposed to be at that home. They didn't just accidentally, wind up there. And so you have to take all of that into consideration. The individual that perpetrated this case probably has, more than likely an intimate familiarity with the environment, with the location geographically.
When did that crime take place, Kib Kitty?
And maybe just the connectivity to the university or perhaps these individuals that were victims here. I think that we can probably rest upon that. And that in and of itself is going to be key because that's a tie back to the hard science here when we begin to think about the utility of the weapon that was used, the access to the weapon, the access to the home, their points of egress in the home, and certainly any kind of trace elements that were left behind in this case. We think about hair, fiber, certainly DNA, fingerprints, anything that was left behind, shoe prints. There was a copious amount of blood. We do know that at the scene. So there's a chance that something has been left behind that can be tied back to this individual. I think that I can't say that they're still there or not, but I do know that there is some kind of connection to this location.
All right, we have about 40 seconds left, but I'd like to get this question in. Recently, and I'm sure you know this, a TikTok creator accused an Idaho professor of the killings without evidence. So even though the professor is suing the creator, she's not backing down from her claims. So how distracting is this sort of thing for investigators?
It's very distracting. But, I used the word paradigm just a moment ago. This is not back in the day, as people say. This is the new paradigm that investigators are faced with. It's kind of like, I was thinking about it today, it's kind of like a Swiss watchmaker. It's got this beautiful watch in front of them, and there's a 50-piece band playing all around them while it's intricacy that's involved here. And that's very important. You have to understand that.
That's a good
And it's just a
description.
distraction. It's something we have to learn to live with now.
All right, forensics professor Joseph Scott Morgan.
That's a good description. I like it when people describe shit like that. That's how I am too. I use other objects and situations to describe shit. That's interesting. I might have the video on here. I do remember saving a couple of his. I do remember that. I do like that's an interesting video. I like what he said there. Okay, this is from the Moscow police. Reliable source? Maybe. Well, we might check that one out. Have you guys heard about that?
I'd like to give a quick update to the community. Starting Friday morning, we are going to be bringing in a professional cleaning crew to go to the residents and begin cleaning. Part of the reason we're doing that is because of the biohazards as well as chemicals that were used.
And I can guarantee you that the FBI is probably the ones that narrowed those vehicles. Dang, from 90 to 1. From 22,000 to 90. And then from 90 to 1. That's crazy.
During the investigation, so there will be activity over at that residence on King Road.
What?
We want people to know about
Damn,
that.
Kib Kitty.
I'd like to update everybody on the amount of tips that we've received. Number one, because we've received a lot more tips here recently, and we're continuing to investigate those and follow up on those. We've received over 19,650 tips. Email-wise, 9,025 of those have come in.
That's crazy.
Phone-wise, 4,575, and we've received over 6,050 digital tips. We want to thank the community for all their help and thank everybody across the nation for the help that they've given us.
Wow. It does. It does sound like they're if they're in wow.
I'd like to give a quick update to the
I
community.
didn't pause it.
Starting Friday.
Oh, it always takes me to the top. Why? Yeah, it sounds like they're I hope they're getting ready to close that shit down. Cam footage. All right, let me see what came out today from the top. Those are years ago. Okay, 22 hours. New pictures and video clips. Well, maybe major companies. Idaho doubles down, claims jury will believe her evidence against professor. I don't know. Maybe later. Murder. I don't really. What evidence? I don't know. Murder suspect. Let's see. That's about Delphi. Yeah, we knew Kaylee invited Jack to come over. Live stream tonight. Answers. Let's see here. Missing girl's parents got new bond restrictions. Cena to get professional cleaning. Yeah, I bet you they got some good stuff on here. Some good opinions. And let me see here. Make sure I like this video. And just the way he talks about possible. Yeah. Man, that'll be very interesting when that 911 audio comes out. Because we've all been waiting this whole time to hear that. That's for sure. So, wow. Yeah, it sounds like you guys are right. We're gonna wake up one morning and I bet they're sweating balls.
18,000 tips sent in to investigators, and now more than 6 weeks since the murder of 4 Idaho college students,
Bet
and
they're
still
sweating
no
balls.
suspects. But a brand new
Right.
update today. News Nation's Nancy Liu is live in Moscow, Idaho. Nancy, what are we learning?
Well, Nicole, in a major new development, Moscow police say cleaning will soon be underway here at the murder scene on King Road. The police chief announcing that a private cleaning company has been retained to begin a remediation process starting tomorrow morning.
We are going to be bringing in a professional cleaning crew to go to the residence and begin cleaning. Part of the reason we're doing that is because of the biohazards, as well as chemicals that were used during the investigation. So there will be activity over at that residence on King Road, and we just want people to know about that.
In a new YouTube announcement, Police Chief James Fry revealing that the home on 1122 King Road will soon be cleaned out. The timeline for the process is not known, but police say the home will be returned to the property management company when finished. The 6-bedroom rental has been under and surrounded by crime tape. Quadruple 13th, the stabbing deaths remain unsolved.
We've received a lot more tips here recently, and we're continuing to investigate those and follow up on those.
The total number of tips is now near 20,000 in the wake of continued police pleas for information about a white Hyundai Elantra and any digital images or videos from the night of the murders that might provide context. Police have said someone knows something about the night of the murders, indicating that individuals may be afraid to come forward. The remediation of the scene comes over 6 weeks since the deaths of Kate Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. On December 7th, the chief and others removed many of the victims' personal belongings for return to their families.
I apologize. I wasn't able to listen to any of that while I was getting that stuff ready, so I'm going to just go back a little bit. I apologize. I really honestly didn't hear anything that video said.
Cleaning company has been retained to begin a remediation process starting tomorrow morning.
We are going to be bringing in a professional cleaning crew to go to
Exactly,
the residents
SRB.
and begin cleaning. Part of the reason we're doing that is because of the biohazards as well as chemicals that were used during the investigation. So there
That's a
will
good
be
idea.
activity over at that residence on King Road.
That's a good idea, SRB. A memorial garden. That's sweet.
We just want people to know about that.
YouTube announcement. Police Chief James Fry revealing that the home on 1122 King Road will soon be cleaned out. The timeline for the process is not known, but police say the home will be returned to the property management company when finished. The 6-bedroom rent.
Part of doing a live show, you know. It'd always be nice to have like a side kick or whatever.
Stabbing deaths remain unsolved.
We've received a lot more tips here recently, and we're continuing to investigate those and follow up on those.
Maybe
The
one
total
day.
number of tips is now near 20,000.
Maybe one day I'll have that sidekick that gets all the videos ready and gets all that stuff, and I'm focused on you.
Night of the murders that might provide context. Police have said someone knows something about the night of the murders, indicating that individuals may be afraid to come forward. The remediation of the scene comes over 6 weeks since the deaths of Kaylee Gonsalves, Maddie Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Kernodle. On December 7th, the chief and others removed many of the victims' personal belongings, returned to their families.
Wow, and
Now,
then
police
they're gonna...
continue to stress that no suspects have been identified, but speculation abounds since there is still a reward offered in this case. Meantime, the future
She's new. I haven't seen her do News Nation stuff. She must be a local reporter, maybe?
fate of this property is not yet known. Nicole?
Yeah, still so many questions here. Okay, Nancy, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I never seen her before. I don't ever remember her face. Man, it sure does sound like it. Like they're about to be done. Let me see. I'll go to this link that Kib Kitty sent me here. All right, 1 second. New information about Nathan. So this is Kaylee's brother? Well, I don't know how I would do it on StreamYard. I guess I'd have to be on somebody else's screen would have to be shared. I don't know how that would work. That would be cool though. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. You know what I mean, Kib Kitty? Like having somebody that gets the next video right. Like I'm just here, I can just sit back, chill back, watch the videos with everybody and talk with everybody, you know, and then I'll be the one to pause the video when we need to pause it or whatever. But, you know, just decide it's just dreams that'll happen like maybe long ass time from now. You know, just having somebody that has that video and all that stuff, and I'm just sitting here talking to you. All right, let's see what he has to say here. That's a long time from now though. Long time. Okay, it's just him sitting there. All right, so this is what I'm going to do with these videos from now on. I have an idea because I love this new logo that was made. So this is the channel link here real quick. See, all this stuff takes so long to do this. This is what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to do this. This is something new I'm going to be doing because I love this new logo. So I'm going to... Yeah, you rock, Bautismo. I'm going to put in the link to the channel. So there we go right there. And then I'm going to put in the link to the video we're about to watch. Sorry, this is... Alright, so here's the link to the video. There's the link to the video, link to the channel, and then we'll just go ahead and listen to it. That way, if you want to watch the actual video from the content creator, you can go to the channel, and we'll just listen to the audio real quick.
We're live. We are live. Hello. Good afternoon or good morning. I am in Florida right now. Jonathan T. Rich is investigating.
Thank you, SRB.
I want to share some new information I was able to obtain. So we'll wait for a few people to jump on, make sure that my audio is correct, make sure people can see me. Can you see me okay? So somebody give me the thumbs up to make sure they can see me
where
okay,
is the information on this?
And we will discuss. Let me make sure since this happened, we're approaching a month next week.
Okay, I think I'm here.
But I have some new information, right? And I have some new information that I need to share with you guys. Now, I was debating whether to come out with this information, but in order to have truth and transparency with this case and openness, I think you have to say sometimes uncomfortable truths. You have to say uncomfortable truths. And when the information that I am going to be sharing now, in no way, shape, or form am I victim shaming in any way, right? I'm not victim shaming anybody in any way, right? So, those 4 people that...
if he's coming out saying that at the beginning of the video, I don't know if I feel comfortable playing this, Kid Kitty. Yeah, I don't know. If he's coming out saying he's not victim shaming, if you want to just put in chat what the video summarizes, go ahead and do that. I don't know. It's kind of like a warning sign to me that don't play this. All right. Thank you for that link, though. Oh, gosh. Ask if Kelt. Where's Kelt? Kelt, SRB needs you. Phantom, SRB needs you. Oh yeah, here. Let me see here. Have your kid explain it to you. It's pretty easy. Or if there's anybody else in chat that can explain any questions that anybody might have about Twitch, it'd be great to have even more people hopping in that trivia murder party. That shit was so fun last night. I love this logo. Thank you so much, Cherry. I'm so excited. It just, I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. All right, we'll go back to the podcast folder here. Okay. Let's see here. The Taylor soldier is a hunter, soldier, the perpetrator. We might go back to that one here in a second. News from Idaho, crime talk. Love crime talk. We're going to check out some crime talk. Ooh, there's some kind of Mean Girls thing down there. We'll probably have to check out here after this one. And as always, the disclaimer. Good grief, Mom. Who knows? He might enjoy some of the Twitch streams too. Seriously. I played GTA 5. I started a Sims 4, a CJ Evil Sims 4. I do have the 3 videos of the 3 episodes on my YouTube channel right now, but those are always uploads. Whenever I do them live, you can actually watch them live. And then there's like videos I won't post to YouTube, like your GTA and some of your shooters and stuff, and that's when I play a lot of the music that I'm not allowed to play on YouTube. That's when I have like my favorite 80s or classic rock 8-bit music tunes that are freaking awesome. So I usually play those a lot and stuff. So it's a lot more, you know, you're a lot more free to do things on Twitch than you are on YouTube. So it is pretty cool. Just saying he's in jail for murder charges. Okay. That he's got a long rap sheet. A transient. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, even on yeah, even there's some nights on there where I actually you can request songs, real songs. You can request them, and those are nights that I don't let my I don't save my past broadcasts, but it's nights where you can actually request you know, hell, you could request whoever you want and you could be hearing the song. It's really neat. I can do a lot more on Twitch, but when it comes to the gaming and stuff, you know, he might enjoy that too. I do a lot of different things on Twitch. Someone who is kind of like Drifter. Ah, okay. Okay. And if anybody needs any tune ideas to request in a Twitch stream when we have song requests open, and I do put it in the chat when the song requests are open. There's the Spotify 88 hours of music. All right, here's Crime Talk. And then I'm going to see what he has to say. It's probably not going to be much on this video because it looks like there's a lot of topics. But let's see what he has to say. And then I'll throw the link to the video that we'll be watching from Crime Talk in the chat.
New news from Idaho regarding Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, as well as a Moscow, Idaho update. Some thoughts on the Delphi case. SBF, for someone who thinks he is so smart, man, is he making some dumb mistakes. Should this cop be fired? You take a look at the video. And then finally, our dumb criminal of the day. Let's talk about it. Good day, everyone. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. Thanks for joining us. You know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't. Like if you do. Hit that little bell so you receive notifications of when we go live or put up new content. And remember, you can listen to us anytime on any of your favorite podcasts. All right. In other news, police may be warming up to the idea of releasing a 911 call in the unsolved slayings of the 4 University of Idaho students. The Moscow police chief, James Fry, floated that possibility of making the recording public. He said, quote, "I think it will be released when the prosecution believes that we can release that," the chief said. And the call also said a little about that, other than that it was placed from the surviving roommate's phone and that multiple people spoke with dispatcher. And he said, well, that could be released at trial or maybe before. Somebody needs to get on a single page out there. Listen, it's a cold case. I don't understand why they don't release more information. I know, Scott, is it really a cold case? Listen, we're now 7 weeks into it.
I'm sorry. I gotta watch that again.
James Fry floated that possibility.
This dude is the best. I love him, dude. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love this shit.
Of making the recording public.
His face.
He said, quote, "I think it will be released when the prosecution believes that."
You don't have to say shit. He's like Will Ferrell to me. You just look at the guy and you just know he's funny.
We can release that, the chief said. And the call also said a little about that, other than that it was placed from the surviving roommate's phone and that multiple people spoke with this dispatcher. And he said, well, that could be released at trial or maybe before. Somebody needs to get on a single page out there. Listen, it's a cold case. I don't understand why they don't release more information. I know, Scott, is it really a cold case? Listen, we're now 7 weeks into it.
Yeah.
No direct suspects, no hot leads. It's a cold case. The chief also declined to say whether anything specific on the call could help detectives make an arrest. He said, quote, "I can't discuss that.
He's the
It's
best.
part of the investigation, but as soon as we can release that information, we will." Police have said that just before noon on November 13th, someone called 911 to report an unconscious person in the King Road house. Officers arrived to find Maddie Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves and Zaina Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, all deceased in the house on the second and third floors. And the county coroner, Kathy Mabott, later said all of them suffered multiple stab wounds. Two other housemates where rooms were on the bottom level were apparently not attacked. The police chief came under fire earlier in the investigation after assuring the public that there was no ongoing threat after an unknown assailant went into the off-campus rental house and obviously fatally stabbed 4 likely sleeping students and then escaped without a trace. You can understand that. I mean, there's a quadruple murder on the loose, and the chief's telling people, don't worry about it. Nothing to worry about here. Don't worry about it. Now, the chief also said that the tips coming in so far have surpassed 17,000 tips as the case nears its 7th week. Police released a few new details after announcing on December 7th that they were looking for this white Hyundai Elantra, which is between the 2011 and 13. And the police believe that that type of car was near the crime scene around the time of the slayings. And the Moscow police have avoided answering questions about whether they actually have photographs placing that type of vehicle at the scene and have released only stock images as they ask the public for help in tracking down the driver. There's been records released out there that indicate there were 90 similar cars.
That what was unrecognizable?
Students and then escaped without a trace. You can understand that. I mean, there's a quadruple murder on the loose, and the chief's telling people, don't worry about it. Nothing to worry about here. Don't worry about it. Now, the chief also said that the tips coming in so far have surpassed 17,000 tips as the case nears its 7th week. Police released a few new details after announcing on December 7th that they were looking for this white Hyundai Elantra, which is between the 2011 and 13. And the police believe that that type of car was near the crime scene around the time of the slayings. And the Moscow police have avoided answering questions about whether they actually have photographs placing that type of vehicle at the scene and have released only stock images as they ask the public for help in tracking down the driver. There's been some records released out there that indicate there were 90 similar cars registered to park on campus, but police have said they were working their way through a list of 22,000. I would think that the 91 on campus would be a good place to start. Just saying. And next, yes, the tarot card reader from Texas who has forced students on a professor, despite the fact that the police have said she wasn't even in town, and there's no reason to suspect the professor
Look at his face.
Of being involved in the homicides. Well, says that she expects that the defamation case against her will only be her vindication. Now, as we brought you the day, Rebecca Schofield, an associate professor and the chair of the history department at the University of Idaho, sued this supposed TikTok personality, Ashley Gillard, earlier this month for defamation. Gillard took on social media to implicate Schofield in the murders that obviously took place in November. Now, Gillard said that Schofield is behind the killings and told a news organization in an interview that she thinks the jury is ultimately going to believe her. She said, quote, "They will see in court why it is true. When I go to court, they will see the evidence and they will see how I connect the dots and make a decision as to it pertains to whether they want to continue to live in blinders or believe it. If they don't, I don't care." Well, actually, she's going to care because guess what? Her little connect the dot is not coming in. She said she got it from tarot cards. That's about as reliable as me referring to the Magic 8-Ball. Well, Judge, the Magic 8-Ball said it was true. You would get laughed out of court. It's not coming in.
That's my guy on Fortnite. I love 8-Ball on Fortnite. That's my dude.
Miss Gillard needs to get for real. She needs to get herself an attorney. And I hear they're expensive. expensive. Now, Schofield accuses the Texas TikToker who says she's never met her on damaging her reputation as a professor and endangering her and her family. And the Moscow Police Department has not said whether criminal charges are being considered against any.
I would have think they had the family. Yeah, somebody from the family I would think would have to do it. Oh man, and they weren't. Oh my gosh. Like, what the hell? Sick fucking people. Sorry for my French.
Online sleuths has indicated that the rash of speculation is taken focus away from solving the actual murders. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's all your fault. If you have any interest, if you've given a tip or you are looking into something, it's all your fault. If the police hadn't been dealing with all of your crazy theories, the police would have solved this case by now.
And then that look up in the air. You know what? This is the perfect freaking response to that dude on News Nation that not only blamed Kaylee's dad, but also blamed us on YouTube and on social media for tainting the investigation pretty much.
Your fault.
I love this
If you
reaction.
have any interest, if you've given
Thank
a
you,
tip
Scott.
or you are looking into something, it's all your fault.
Thank
If
you.
the police hadn't been with all of your crazy theories, the police would have solved this case by now. No. So,
Thank you,
like I said,
Scott.
the case is cold. Think of this fact. I thought it's a little disturbing. Just 54% of all homicides were cleared through arresting and charging suspected killers in 2020. That's the most recent information we have. That's marking the lowest murder clearance rate on record. Think of what that means. We're right now on the edge of becoming the first Western nation to allow more murders to go unsolved than are actually solved.
Whoa.
Think about that for a minute.
Wow.
Let that sink in. What the?
Maybe that has something to do with defunding. That's just my opinion.
Said whether criminal charges are being considered against any online.
That's some fucking facts right there. This for the nation? Oh my gosh, I got to hear that again.
Sleuths, but officials have indicated that the rash of speculation is taken focus away from solving the actual murders. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's all your fault. If you have any interest, if you've given a tip or you are looking into something, it's all your fault. If the police hadn't been dealing with all of your crazy theories, the police would have solved this case by now. No. So,
thank you,
like I
Scott.
said, the case is cold. Think of this fact.
Crazy. Oh my gosh.
I thought it's a little disturbing. Just 54% of all homicides were cleared through arresting and
54%
charging suspected killers in 2020. That's the most recent information we have.
No
That's marking
way,
the lowest
SRB.
murder clearance rate on record. Think of what that means. We're right now on the edge of becoming the first Western nation to allow more murders to go unsolved than are actually solved. Think about that for a minute.
Wow.
Let that.
Scott Rice, you need to put out a short just of that fact right there. Oh my gosh.
Sink in. What the hell is going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Wow.
Think about it. Leave me a comment below. Next,
Fuck, maybe I should. Jeez, that's fucking crazy. 54 fucking percent. If anybody can find the link to that information right there, can you send it to me? I'll make a damn short on it. That shit is crazy. No wonder all these damn cases are freaking nuts these days. No wonder.
couple of questions in the Richard Allen case as we.
That's crazy, SRB. It is. Washington State and Oregon, they got some interesting laws now over there.
Come to the end of the year. Obviously, Mr. Allen was charged with the murder of the two teenage girls from Indiana, and his arrest was the first real development in years in the 2017 cold case. Now, Libby and Abby were obviously found deceased in the woods in Delphi, Indiana on
That's a
Valentine's Day
crazy
of
stat,
2017,
54%.
which led to a multi-year investigation of this small community, leaving a lot of people pretty hopeless. However, the suspect apparently was right under their nose, and it was revealed that Mr. Allen worked at a pharmacy as a technician at a local CVS, trained in the tight-knit community as a suspect in the murder. So the big question is somebody else involved? Now remember, prosecutors revealed back in late November following Mr. Allen's arrest, there may be another suspect involved in the slayings. At the November hearing, the Carroll County prosecutor, Nicholas McClelland, argued against unsealing the documents, claiming it would jeopardize the investigation. The prosecution apparently believes that Mr. Allen is not the only suspect involved in the homicides. The prosecutor stated, "We have good..."
That is freaking crazy. I needed to pause that shit. They aren't allowed to do chases at all. You watched on FaceTime confronting a drug dealer. What? Wow. Wow, if family. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's freaking crazy.
County prosecutor.
I mean, how can you? I don't know. I'd go nuts. I would feel so uncomfortable.
Nicholas McClelland against unsealing the documents, claiming it would jeopardize the investigation. The prosecution apparently believes that Mr. Allen is not the only suspect involved in the homicides. The prosecutor stated, "We have good reason to believe that Allen was not acting alone, that there could be other actors." This is from the district attorney, Mr. McClelland. McClelland also argued that if an unredacted affidavit was released, witnesses in the investigation could be harassed. Now, after the hearing, Allen's attorney said that the...
What the fuck? My gosh. She still wants to go to school out there? That's crazy.
Following Mr. Allen's arrest, there may be another suspect involved in the slayings. At the November hearing, the Carroll County prosecutor, Nicholas McClelland, argued against unsealing the documents, claiming it would jeopardize the investigation. The prosecution apparently believes that Mr. Allen is not the only suspect involved in the homicides. The prosecutor stated, "We have good reason to believe that Allen was not acting alone, that there could be other actors." This is from the district attorney, Mr. McClelland. McClelland also argued that if an unredacted affidavit was released, witnesses in the investigation could be harassed. Now, after the hearing, Allen's attorney said that the revelations of the potential second suspect was news to them. If you read the probable cause affidavit, it does not mention anything about any other person. So that's interesting. So when is the prosecution going to let us know, or when are they going to file charges against somebody? Now we know, there's been lots of talk that Keegan Klein, who's been held in custody for over the last year on unrelated charges, whether he had some involvement, and the prosecutors have somewhat whittled away his charges, but there's been no connection. Pretty soon it's going to be time for the prosecution to put up or shut up about their second suspect. Next on the docket, Sam Bankman-Fried. For a guy who thinks he's pretty smart, man, he's dumb. So Sam Bankman-Fried has had several...
I don't know. I don't really know much about that. I don't really care to. I don't know. Should I know much? And prayers for the family over there. Holy crap, I can imagine. I don't really know much about that, and I don't know. I haven't really checked it out. There's so much other stuff to talk about, but if you guys want to watch that, let me know. Some interesting stuff there. And let me see here. Since I'm at the beginning again, I'm just going to hit refresh because there was a new video that just came out here. A second. Yeah, for real. Damn. SBF. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't even know what he did. Does anybody know what that guy did in the first place? I haven't really checked anything out. It's just not. All right, this is a News Nation. I don't recognize this lady either, so maybe she has something interesting here.
So the Moscow, Idaho police chief just said that they have collected with high confidence all the DNA evidence at the scene. So now the question is, what do they do with it? Let's bring in CC Moore, whose groundbreaking DNA techniques solved 250 criminal cases, including the infamous Golden State Killer.
Oh,
You can see
wow.
there's a documentary on it. I think it's on Netflix. Also with us.
Oh, wow. Who is she? Who is she? Okay, Jennifer Coffendorfer, CC Moore. So CC Moore is who that person is. Interesting. 250 criminal cases and help catch the Golden State Killer? Interesting.
DNA techniques solved 250 criminal cases, including the infamous Golden State Killer. You can see there's a documentary on it. I think it's on Netflix. Also with us is former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer. First, thank you both so much for, in this holiday week, coming on with me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Double thank you to you, Coffendorfer. One, because you have one of the best names in the business. And second,
That's
because
funny.
You've been on multiple times. So, Cece, let me start with you. Let's get rid of this law and order stigma. They're like, oh, well, they got the DNA. That's it. We go to commercial break, and when we come back, they've got the killer. How does it work with what they do with DNA and the different avenues of application in your experience?
Well, in a very violent crime scene like this, there's almost always going to be DNA left behind, unless he's wearing some sort of Dexter uniform, which is unlikely. And so that has to be very carefully protected and collected. And then crime lab. What they'll first do is they'll run what's called an STR profile, which is 20 genetic markers, and that is the court admissible genetic evidence. They will then compare that against law enforcement databases looking for somebody who has been convicted or at least arrested of a violent crime in the past. Now, most violent criminals are going to be in the system because, of course, they have been caught doing something like that before. But there are a lot of cold cases in our country where they didn't get that match. That person was able to stay under law enforcement's radar for whatever reason. And so that means that you have to turn to more advanced technology. We're now using investigative genetic genealogy, which looks at a different type of genetic profile. Instead of looking at those 20 STR genetic markers, instead we look at almost 1 million genetic markers called SNPs, SNPs.
Wow.
And with those, we can use genetic genealogy databases to called work with law enforcement, and we can broaden out looking for relatives, usually distant cousins of that, reverse engineer his or her family tree from their common ancestors.
Holy shit.
On the straight legwork side, so they say, well, now we're going to go in there, we're going to clean up this site now because we went through it. Why? What's the rush? What's the rush? You know what I mean? Why do you have to clean up the scene? Because they got to rent it to somebody else?
No, Chris, at this point, they are very confident that they have done a full-scale evaluation of the evidence, that they've collected it, and they've sent it off to the lab. So at this point, there is no reason to not clean up. The evidence is collected. There's no more to collect. They're not going back to collect it. And so from a boots on the ground, this is time to move on from that crime scene because they are so confident.
All right, and the DNA is obviously, it has a big romantic attachment to it for us because it's used so much in storytelling that we see about this. But is it fair to say, CC, that if it was someone in the database, is certainly the authorities would know it by now? And if Coffindaffer's right, and a lot of other people we have who say that the FBI has a heavy hand in this investigation, they know how to process, they know how to process that very well. We would have known more by now, wouldn't we, CC?
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely helped with pinning the vehicle down to one vehicle. I mean, shit. I don't see how 6 Moscow LE could have did that.
Well, they certainly would. They have to build that case, though. So it's possible they know a lot more than they are revealing. It's probable that they do. But I would think in a case like this, we would have seen an arrest quite quickly if they had gotten that match in the law enforcement databases.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com. First, this is former FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer.
I want to hear what the
thank
beginning
you both
said again.
So much,
that was pretty interesting.
For in this holiday week coming on with me. I
That's
appreciate
CC.
it. Thank you. A double thank you to you, Coffindaffer. One, because
CC
you're one of the
Moore.
best names in the business. And second, because you've been on multiple times. So, CC, let me start with you.
Huh.
Let's
Listen to this again.
this Law and Order stigma. They're like, oh, they got the DNA. That's it. We go to commercial break, and when we come back, they've got the killer. How does it work with what they do with DNA and the different avenues of application in your experience?
Well, in a very violent crime scene like this, there's almost always going to be DNA left behind, unless he's wearing some sort of Dexter uniform, which is unlikely. And so that has to be very carefully protected and collected and then sent to the crime lab. What they'll first do is they'll run what's called an STR profile, which is 20 genetic markers, and that is the court admissible genetic evidence. They will then compare that against law enforcement databases looking for somebody who has been convicted or at least arrested of a violent crime in the past. Now, most violent criminals are going to be in the system because, of course, they have been caught doing something like that before. But there are a lot of cold cases in our country where they didn't get that match. That person was able to stay under law enforcement's radar for whatever reason. And so that means that you have to turn to more advanced technology. We're now using investigative genetic genealogy, which looks at a different type of genetic profile. Instead of looking at those 20 STR genetic markers, instead we look at almost 1 million genetic markers called SNPs. And so that means that you have to turn to more advanced technology. We're now using investigative genetic genealogy, which looks at a different type of genetic profile. Instead of looking at those 20 STR genetic markers, instead we look at almost 1 million genetic markers called SNPs, SNPs. And with those, we can use genetic genealogy databases, 2 that are called Family Tree DNA and GEDmatch that have agreed to work with law enforcement. And we can broaden out looking for relatives, usually distant cousins of that unknown perpetrator. And we can reverse engineer his or her family tree from their common ancestors.
Wow, that shit is crazy. Wow. And that last one. Investigative genetic the most time-consuming part and a limiting factor in the success of the forensic genetic genealogy, which is a new approach to solving violent crimes and identifying human remains. We formulate a stochastic dynamic program that, given the list of matches and their genetic distances to the unknown target, chooses the best decision at each point in time which match to investigate, quote, find its ancestors and look for most recent common ancestors between the match and the target, unquote, which set of potential most recent common ancestors to descend from. The objective is to maximize the probability of finding the target minus a cost associated with the expected size of the final family tree. Wow, this is new technology. So since the April 2018 arrest in the Golden State Killer case, forensic genetic genealogy has emerged as an important tool to solve cold criminal cases and to identify unidentified human remains. I wonder if this has something to do with the boy in the box stuff. Is that how they found all this stuff out from the boy in the box? Was this technology? Since 1957, I think. Wow. What a freaking video. I'm saving that one. That CC Moore lady? Huh. One more time.
Court admissible genetic evidence.
Wow.
They will then compare that.
I gotta hear. I mean, all this. This is crazy. This is. Plus, they have the VIN number. This person may be shit out of luck.
Against law enforcement databases looking for somebody who has been convicted or at least arrested of a violent crime in the past. Now, most violent criminals are going to be in the system because, of course, they have been caught doing something like that before. But there are a lot of cold cases in our country where they didn't get that match. That person was able to stay under law enforcement's radar for whatever reason. And so that means that you have to turn advanced technology. We're now using investigative genetic genealogy, which looks at a different type of genetic profile. Instead of looking at those 20 STR genetic markers, instead we look at almost 1 million genetic markers called SNPs, SNPs. And with those, we can use genetic genealogy databases, two that are called Family Tree DNA and GenMatch, they've agreed to work with law enforcement. And we can broaden out looking for relatives, usually distant cousins of that unknown perpetrator, and we can reverse engineer his or her family tree from their common ancestors.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm saving that one. That CC Moore lady. I haven't seen her show up on any interviews or anything like that. I definitely hope she starts showing up on a lot more. What a freaking video right there. New technology. And if they got a VIN number and they're doing the DNA stuff with this technology, shit, this person has no chance, right? Wow. Well, since Silky's working tonight, I do want to check out some of her stuff here in a bit. Let me see what else we got here. Okay. Okay, news. We watched that. Okay. Since we're still on the topic of Idaho 4, I'm going to click on this one and see what Bed Crime Stories has to say. So here is Bed Crime Story. I wish they could use this. Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then the interview that John Benet's dad came out on News Nation and talked about the Idaho 4 stuff, it's like, damn, this dude, that's for damn sure, SRB. That would be awesome if they could do that. Hopefully. Exactly. Yeah, if they can do Boy in the Box, come on, let's figure out this DNA stuff. Because there was DNA, right? There was DNA, right? This is Bed Crime Stories channel. I think there was with John Benet. It's been so long since I even watched anything like that about that case. I thought there was DNA, but I could be wrong. So this is Bed Crime Stories. And then we'll go to this new video here. And I'll put the link to that in the chat as well. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you love the new logo. Thank you, Cherry. Man, I love it. It looks amazing. I'm so excited about it. All right, I'm going to make sure I like this video because it's so easy to do that. Let's hear what she has to say.
Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you're new here, welcome.
Yeah.
If after watching the video or listening to it, you find you learned something or enjoyed it, please do me a favor, hit that like button and also consider subscribing. Now, let's dig in. The case of the 4.
Good night, Kib Kitty. Thank you very much. I appreciate you hanging out, and I hope you get some restful sleep. And you wake up for a happy Friday. Happy Friday. And yeah, that is, I can imagine how, yeah. It would be nice to have, man, it would be nice to kind of have a night to talk about that. I probably couldn't play too much but local news and shit, but that is an interesting topic that I would love to sit down and have a show about sometime with some John Benet Ramsey. That would be cool. Here's the link to this video from Bed Crime Stories. Thank you, Kib Kitty. Appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and put up Bed Crime Stories and we'll see what she has to say here.
University of Idaho students who were done in by a real-life boogeyman or woman remains unsolved more than 46 days after the crime, leaving the victims' families and Moscow in a state of anxiety and fear. Police have said they believe the house and possibly some of the victims were targeted and the crime was personal. That hasn't made any residents feel any safer. And it doesn't help that the police are still saying that they have no suspects. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. Some think it could be a ploy to lull the perpetrator into thinking he's off the hook and can now relax his behaviors. Some think the cops are telling the truth and they really have no clue who did this.
I know, Kib Kitty. Thank you so much. You're always coming in with information and facts, and you always contribute so much to this channel, and I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you.
Either way,
and thank you, SRB.
The fact remains that no one has been arrested for this brutal and senseless crime, and whoever did it was drawn for one reason or another to that house at 1122 King Road. The cops have done 250 interviews so far. That number came from a reporter who works for the Idaho Statesman newspaper and who was on Surviving the Survivor. We don't know how many of those are second interviews, nor do we know how many of those are interviews with neighbors. Let's hope the cops have cast a wide enough net and haven't let anyone living around there slip through the cracks. Look at Delphi. The suspect there went to the police to talk to them and...
We love you too, Kib Kitty. Thank you so much. Every night you're in the streams. I appreciate you.
Still, he fell through the cracks for 5.5 years.
And
here's what we do know. The uninvited offender was
I want to also say thank you again, Kib Kitty, because it was because of you that I have this nice freaking crisp and clear microphone instead of my gaming headset that I used to use. So thank you. Thank you so much.
and confident. This person
You watch Surviving the Survivor podcast? Really? I never even heard of it. On YouTube? Is it on YouTube? Where's it at? Spotify? Man, I wish I could put my stuff on Spotify. I wonder if there's a way that I can put my podcast on Spotify where you just hear, you don't watch it, but you just hear something. I wonder if there's a way that I pay for premium Spotify, so maybe I can. That would be cool to have my podcast on Spotify. Not that I'm just a minnow, but I think it'd be neat. You could listen to my Spotify playlist or my podcast.
crept into a large 3-story rental home where 5 inhabitants and 1 guest were either falling asleep or fast asleep. Then the offender entered the most sacred of sanctuaries in any house, the bedrooms. Once inside, this person subjected 4 of the home's inhabitants to a savage blitz-style attack in which he held all the power. With that sharp-edged object, the offender made all the decisions as to who would live and who would die. This crime appears to be rooted in rage, power, and a desire for revenge. The perpetrator, along with having a plan to inflict fatal wounds on at least 1 targeted victim, possibly more, had another objective, and that was to not get caught. In some mass events like this one, the perp actually uses the crime as a way of doing himself or herself in. That person counts on the cops coming for them and doing that.
I'll definitely have to go sub to him and check him out sometime. It sounds Surviving the Survivor. That sounds like a cool title.
Them in. That's not what happened here. Here we have someone who wants to continue living and wants to do it outside of a prison. That took planning. The offender thought through this crime, perhaps studied other crimes and offenders to see how it's done. The perp made the decision to strike at an hour when it was dark outside and when most people were asleep. The house he hit was in a neighborhood where party sounds and even screams, if we are to believe the girl's neighbor, Enon Harsh, were normal, especially on weekends. And although we don't know what the victim's toxicology reports will reveal, at least 2 of them, Kaylee Gonsalves and Maddie Mogan, had been out drinking and were under the influence to some degree. And if I had to guess, I would say that all the victims were unarmed or unable to reach a weapon, even if they had one. I don't think any of these details were down to chance. The perpetrator also had the physical strength and stamina to do 4 adults in with that sharp-edged object. That takes a body that is strong, likely muscular. This guy also knew how to do living beings in with a sharp-edged object. He knew where to place his jabs and slashes so that his victims would succumb to their injuries. Idaho is a state full of hunters. One of the tools hunters carry are sharp-edged objects. Is this perpetrator a hunter? That's a definite possibility. The problem is so many guys in Idaho are hunters, and we've even seen this with some of the students who socialized with the victims. At least 2 of them have photos on their Facebook pages of them holding the antler.
Yeah, but if they got the VIN number of that car and then they mix it with this DNA technology, and now, you got the police chief coming out saying all that stuff and everything seems like it's starting to shut down. Whew. Man. Oh, you're all good. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you. Man, we might wake up soon, huh? It's that hunch, SRB. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you being in the stream. I'm just wondering if this stuff even matters now, right? Yeah, no problem. I'm going to try my hardest. If there's some stuff coming out tomorrow and possibly a press release, I think I'm going to have to try and be on for at least 6 hours in the early daytime, and then still have my night stream. So I'm gonna really try my hardest. That the hunches and all this stuff that's coming out, it definitely seems like there's something coming. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate your information as well. Wow, this is crazy. Thank you so
their
much.
prey. Here's another possibility. Veterans Day was Friday, November 11th, just 2 days before the crime. In Moscow, Idaho, Veterans Day appears to be a big deal. And this was celebrated not just on that Friday, but also on that Saturday and Sunday. That weekend, there were flags flying in honor of veterans on the streets of downtown Moscow and along Highway 8. Several events in the town were planned for the weekend. There was the traditional Veterans Appreciation Dinner at 5 p.m. on Friday at the new ICCU Arena on the University of Idaho campus. Lieutenant General Eric Peterson, who graduated from the university in 1986, was the keynote speaker. On Saturday, there was a gathering at the American Legion Post on Howard Street in the downtown area where the Moscow High School Choir performed. And over at the Moscow Moose Lodge on Main Street, there was a dart benefit featuring a barbecue lunch, a raffle, a silent auction, and a live band. Saturday also saw the Moscow Elks Lodge sponsor a 6K run, walk, or ruck. We've all heard about the type of sharp-edged object the police said was used in the crime, and that it was one that was originally developed for the military. Is it possible that these Veterans Day events could have attracted someone to Moscow who was trained in using those objects? Someone who'd done people in before, maybe in battle, who had the strength, the stamina, and the cold heart needed to do in for human beings without guilt, without a conscience, and without becoming physically ill at the sights and scents involved in such a grotesque act. And could that person have been someone who was aware of one or more of the girls who lived at 1122 King Road? Maybe because of a previous veterans event, or maybe because of some of the girls' Instagram accounts where they pose for the camera in any number of alluring outfits. For some guys, that type of thing is like crack or candy. It makes their soap.
Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, that's true, but I don't know. Man, if they got the VIN number already, and they got this new DNA technology, FBI's on there, Idaho State Police, I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. It's interesting. What this lady had to say was really interesting. That was Bed Crime Stories. The link for that video is in the chat. All right, let's see what else we got here. And Hunter Johnson. Might be checking that one out next. And I don't know what that is. 15-year-old on the run. Okay, Bed Crime Stories. We watched that one. Let's see what else we got here. Reporter, Kaylee invited, Bears skate route. Ooh. Yeah, I did want to watch this Law and Crime Network here. Let me put the link to the channel. That's the channel in the background. Here's the link. All right, and then I'll put the link to the video in a second. Right here.
They will see in court why it is true.
A TikToker doubles down on her claims that a college professor is the real killer in the University of Idaho murder case. Constitutional law professor Kermit Roosevelt joins to discuss. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
You would think that after being sued, you might quiet down and not double down on the behavior that you're being sued over. Well, that is not the case for Ashley Gillard. This is the TikToker who has claimed that a University of Idaho professor is the real killer behind the quadruple homicide case and talked about the killings of 21-year-old Kaylee Gonsalves, 21-year-old Madison Mogan, 20-year-old Zana Kernodle, and 20-year-old Ethan Chapin, whose bodies were found in their off-campus rental home back on November 13th. Now, at the time of this recording, no arrests, no publicly identifiable suspect, no indication if the murder weapon's been recovered. And what this has generated is people online coming to their own conclusions and theories as to what happened. Well, Miss Gillard has posted videos that Rebecca Schofield, an associate professor and chair of the history department, was in a relationship with one of the victims. It seems like she's indicating it's Miss Gonsalves. And then that she planned and carried out the murders of these four people.
Agencies and because it's kind of a line, but just know I'm not the only one who suspect Rebecca Schofield. They want both of them.
Now, Schofield filed a defamation lawsuit against Gillard.
People just don't get it. Like, I've been against mom and systemic things and racism, and all regret coming against me. All of them. Now Rebecca is going to be added to that list of regretful people.
Wow.
That hasn't stopped the social media personality from doubling down on her claims. So in fact, she sat down for an interview with News Nation.
When I go to court and they see the evidence or they see how I connect the dots, then they'll make a decision as it pertains to whether they want to continue to live in blinders or believe it. If they don't, that's here.
Let me bring in Kermit Roosevelt. Kermit is a David Berger professor for the Administration of Justice and focuses on constitutional law. Kermit, great to have you here on Sidebar.
Thanks for having me.
What do you make of her comments?
Well, it suggests that she's just not taking a realistic perspective on this, particularly like if they don't believe me, I don't care. If they don't believe her, she's going to be liable for a lot of money.
And again, I said that you would think that somebody who's hit with a defamation lawsuit, which is very serious, would quiet down. She has not. She is doubling down. My concern, and by the way, just to let everybody know, the Moscow Police Department came out and said at the time of this investigation, detectives do not believe the female associate professor and chair of the history department at the University of Idaho suing a TikTok user for defamation is involved in this crime. A part of me is concerned that her going to court, her fighting this is giving her a platform to further her claims. What do you think about that?
Well, if you're looking for a rational explanation for the way she's behaving, I think that's all it be. It's clout chasing. She's looking for publicity. She's trying to magnify her reach. And yeah, get involved in a controversy like this can do that. It's probably going to come at significant cost for her. So it doesn't seem like a good thing to be doing. It doesn't seem like a smart strategy, but I think that's the only explanation.
Well, does anybody have a First Amendment right to go on social media and talk about this case? I mean, where do you think she might have crossed the line?
Well, you can talk about the case, and you can even say, I'm going to flip a coin, and if it comes up heads, I think that means that this person is the murderer, as long as you're pretty transparent about what you're doing and you're saying what the basis for your conclusions are. But she's putting out as assertions of fact claims that this woman is involved in the murders, and there doesn't seem to be any evidence for that. It's a very strong defamation case against her.
Especially after getting 2 letters, cease and desist letters, and then just still came out swinging still. I'm like, damn.
If she had came out and said, suspect that it might be the professor, that might have been something different, because there are people online right now who have a ton of different theories and a ton of different speculation. They're pointing the finger and they're saying, look at this piece of evidence. happens. What would be your message to all those people out there?
Well, I guess I would say be careful. Some of that is protected. If you're like, here are the pieces of evidence and here's what I think. Or if you're saying X% of the time, it's the boyfriend, usually it's the husband who kills the wife, something that's based on statistics about actual cases. All of that is protected. What you can't do is make factual claims about a specific person without a reasonable basis for them. And there doesn't seem to be any basis at all for this. It's just sort of wild accusations.
So I should tell you that Schofield's attorney sent News Nation a statement denouncing this accusation. It says, quote, "The statements made about Professor Schofield are false, plain and simple. What's even worse is that these untrue statements create safety issues for the professor and her family. They also further compound the trauma that the families of the victims are experiencing and undermine law enforcement efforts to find the people responsible in order to provide answers to the families and the public." The impact that the statements had on Schofield and her family, how does that factor into the analysis?
Well, that would factor into the damages. And, it does seem there's the potential for serious reputational harm. She's being accused of crimes and professional misconduct. And then worse, there's the fact that you get other people on the internet who maybe aren't very good at distinguishing truth from falsehood or well-supported claims from unsupported claims, who then take this and run with it. And so now the professor has a whole bunch of people coming after her. She says that she should safety.
Yeah, that's why you always got to be respectful, speak with facts. Make sure if it's speculation, you say speculation. You don't body shame. You don't, none of that. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to do that. We're here to be peaceful, positive, talk about facts, talk about theories, brain stew, and just have an enjoyable time and be respectful about it. There's no other reason to do stuff like that.
Here's the question that I have, though, and before I forget it, if Giller truly, in her heart, believes that Schofield is the killer, this was different than other cases where we say, didn't you know this wasn't true? And didn't you know this was false, but you pushed it anyway, maybe for profit, maybe for attention. If she truly believes this, is that going to change anything?
No. So truly believing what you're saying is not a defense to defamation. It depends on whether it's false, and it depends on whether you were negligent or reckless in not realizing that it was false. So if you're sort of deluded and you really believe what you're saying, but there's no reason to believe it, you're liable for that.
And something that you hit upon that kind of strikes me is, even if Schofield wins this lawsuit, even if there's a settlement, her reputation can never come back, right? Because we kind of saw this in the Alex Jones case, where even though Alex Jones eventually...
Wow, they're comparing her to Alex Jones?
There were people who still believed him, and there were people who were still coming after the families. There are people, like you said online, who are going to maybe have trouble distinguishing between what is reality and what is true. She has already come under the radar. She's already had to been looked at by the police. What happens if, do you think she'll ever be able to have the life that she had? Do you think that her reputation could ever be recovered? And I'm curious what someone in her position should do next.
Well, I hope she can have the life she used to have. I would say there's sort of two different levels on which this operates. And, professionally and with the police, I don't think there's a problem, because I think everyone understands there's no... But then you have the crazy world of the internet where people are taken in by conspiracy theories. And there, it's very hard to do something like this. And then the other problem, and an interesting comparison to Alex Jones, is Alex Jones probably can't pay the full judgments against him, but he has a lot of money. And there's a lot of money available, and he's really going to suffer a serious loss from this. But who knows how much money Ashley has? She might be relatively judgment-proof. So you can get a big judgment against her, but for money, it doesn't really have any effect.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, what happens if wouldn't there be some order that she has to stop saying this, or could that be a situation, or not really? If she just keeps doubling down, let's say there's a judgment against her, but she has no money and she keeps pushing the falsehood.
Well, eventually you can get an injunction against it. And then if she defies the injunction, you can get contempt of court. And so eventually it could turn into a criminal offense.
Yeah, I mean that's the part that I'm interested in, because she seems to not be stopping, and I am curious about what a trial would look like. What evidence could she present on her side that might be beneficial?
I can't think of anything. There's nothing I've seen in the videos. I mean, as far as I know, it's from tarot cards, and you can sincerely believe your tarot cards, but you are negligent at the least. You know, if you think your tarot cards have told you who the murderer is.
Right.
But that was a line you never thought you'd end up saying. Kermit Roosevelt, thank you for taking the time to talk about this case, and hopefully we'll have you back on to see how it ultimately progresses.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, that was an interesting video. Yeah, like, and speaking of, JLR just came out with a video. I'll see if that is, let's see what he says on that. Let me hit the refresh. Then I'll have to go through these videos from tomorrow. I don't know. There's nothing really else I want to check out that I've saved today. I don't think. I'll go through it again. Let me see here. Oh, wow. I thought I was close to it. Guess not. There we go. Biohazard cleaning team to work on Moscow House were 4 U of I students. So that was in the update earlier. So this right here, Ashley evicted, that has something to do with what she's talking about, I guess. I don't know. And what they were talking about on Crime Talk. So I thought maybe, here's the link to that channel again. I thought maybe it has something to do with what they were talking about on that Law and Crime Network video we just watched. So there's a link to the channel. Here's a link to the video. I'll put that in chat as well.
Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. Let's talk about Rebecca Schofield and Ashley Goulard. Ashley Goulard, it's been reported that she's being sued by Rebecca Schofield. And Ashley is a ticker. She's been putting out a lot of it saying that Rebecca Schofield and Jack Natur plotted murders of the 4 college students who were brutally stabbed in Moscow, Idaho during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. Schofield is suing Ashley in federal court.
Damn, I need that t-shirt right there. I need to write that down. I need that shirt. That's cool. I like that shirt. I need one. I need a sign that says that too. Not just on my frickin'
lawsuit filed in
not just on my show background.
Idaho. Ashley's from Texas, and I want to share with you something else about Ashley. She was actually just sued in Houston, Texas, Harris County, Texas, for not paying rent. She got an eviction lawsuit, and I want to share that eviction lawsuit with you right here, right now, and then we will discuss. Check it out. So according to the Unicourt website, which is a site used to look up lawsuits, civil and criminal cases, a civil suit was filed in May of 2022, Metro at Greenway LLC versus Latoya Robertson and Ashley Goulard, all other occupants. So this was a lawsuit. It looks like it was dealing with an eviction type lawsuits. Metro at Greenway LLC plaintiff versus Latoya Robinson and Ashley Goulard. It is believed that this is the same Ashley Goulard who is now being sued by Rebecca Schofield. So she was basically evicted. This is you go through the process to get somebody evicted, send them the paperwork, eventually gets to a lawsuit, a ruling in favorable of the apartment complex, and then the sheriffs come and evict her. So I don't know why she got evicted, but she got evicted, it looks like here around May 2022. So probably after the lawsuit was filed, takes a few months. So probably by the summertime, end of the summer, she was probably officially evicted from this apartment complex, the Metro at Greenway. So yeah, she's being evicted. That's being evicted. And this has happened a few months ago. So I'm just wondering, her being evicted, and now she actually is now, making wild claims against Rebecca. I'm just wondering if she's making the wild claims because she's trying to make money. She's on TikTok. I'm sure she's monetized. I don't know how the monetization works on TikTok.
Yeah, but you still shouldn't do it, I mean, it's cool to check out. Thanks for the information. But it still doesn't give you a reason, you know what I mean? Not that he's saying it does, but I'm just saying. That is interesting, though. All right, let me look through some of these other ones. Let me see. Bond restrictions. Yeah, let me hear about that real quick.
It's now been more than a month since 11 years.
Oh, shoot. Hey, I didn't get a PM on Twitter, by the way. I didn't get a PM on Twitter. Minnesota Screaming Eagles is the hat Jack D was wearing. Dang. Minnesota Screaming Eagles. Right there. Oh my gosh. Right there. That's it. Holy crap. Oh, wait, it's not showing the frickin'... Hold on. Boom. My bad. I thought it was showing this picture. It does have a purple. It is. It's yellow. It's got purple. Holy crap, Phantom. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Let me see. Right there. There we go. Can I get rid of these ads? Vintage, the TV show, Craig T. Nelson, Whoa! Does this have something to do with it? No shit. That's awesome. Wow. That's awesome. We were trying to figure it out. Thanks for the info. That's it right there. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, you could definitely see something on each side. It looked, it had that shape. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. I need to save that picture real quick. There we go. Saved. That's sweet. Yeah, it was something like that. It was close though. Northwestern was close too. How you doing this evening, Phantom?
It's now been more than a month since 11-year-old Madalena Kojikari disappeared. The North Carolina girl last seen getting off of a school bus. Her mom and stepdad currently.
By the way, check out this new logo that Cherry did. Look at this. That's a beautiful logo. Tired? Yeah. Well, here in the beginning of the stream, there's a lot of chat about the it is sweet as fuck. It's man, I love this thing. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You know, it'd be cool as hell is to get like a neon kind of like that. Just the EvilleCJ concept part on some kind of wood or some kind of backing, you know, and then you got the and podcast and just regular, not lit up or nothing, not even lit up, just the EvilleCJ. I don't know. I wonder if there's like companies out there that you can like give them what you want, and they can make it for you. That'd be sweet. Beautiful logo though. Beautiful. But yeah, there's we watched Moscow, Idaho conference, or not a conference, but an update clip from their YouTube that they're getting ready to, you know, close the house out, pretty much be on with it. They narrowed the vehicles from 20. I'm sure you probably already know this because you're out there a lot, but in the beginning of the stream here, they narrowed it down from 22,000 to 90, now to 1. They know the VIN number. Then there's another video here that was on News Nation from some CC Moore, CECE MOORE. Had something to do with busting the Golden State Killer through DNA evidence, and the technology that she was talking about was crazy. So yeah, I don't know. It sounds like they might be on to who it is, and if they're already closing out the house and stuff, and I don't know. They might be close. There's a big hunch. There was a lot of hunch in chat earlier with other people that they think that they know who it is. They think they're close, and they think we could wake up one morning and there's going to be an arrest. But this is something about the new bond restrictions. Ooh, I got to make sure I like that. Hear what they have to say real quick.
Last seen getting a school bus. Her mom and stepdad currently behind bars on charges of failing to immediately notify law enforcement that she was missing, and police again searched the home last week. We don't know though exactly what they were looking for. Those details in a search warrant yet to be released. Reporter Sydney Heiberger from our Charlotte affiliate WJZY joins us now. Sydney, thank you for giving us some of your time. You know, search warrants are public. They're public records. So why haven't we been able to get our hands on them?
Yeah, there's two possible reasons for that. The first is that law enforcement possibly could be going through the process of getting those warrants sealed from a judge, and that would be to protect the integrity of their investigation. Now, we don't that is the case. So the other possibility is that they just have not gotten around to bringing those warrants to the courthouse. And I actually did talk to a local criminal defense attorney here in Charlotte today about what might be their motive for doing that. Take a listen.
There's really no requirement of when they have to bring it back to the clerk's office after executed. So a way around the process of not getting it out to the public would be just don't return it.
You heard the attorney there. Perhaps the law enforcement officials there's information in that search warrant that they do not want the public to know yet, for to go through the process of getting that information released, sealed through a judge. But really, there's no specific time frame in North Carolina laws that signifies when police have to drop off and file that search warrant that they've already executed.
All right. Well, Sydney, speaking of time frames, we know that Madalena's parents, are giving different timelines for when they last saw her. What do we know about that?
Yeah, in the arrest reports for both of Madalena's parents, Diana Kojikari, her mother, said that she last saw her daughter on November 23rd. Well, in her stepfather's arrest warrants, his name is Christopher Palmer, he told investigators he hadn't seen Madalena until a week before that. So right now, the Cornelius Police Department is saying, piecing together that timeline of when Madalena actually was last seen is a critical part of their investigation. And they've actually been asking our local community here to submit any eyewitness accounts if anybody actually physically saw Madalena around that time frame. We do know we have surveillance video of Madalena getting off her school bus on November 21st, but that is really, by all accounts, the last time that anybody other than her parents seemed to have been able to see Madalena Kojikari.
Yeah, so many questions still in this one. All right, Sydney Heiberger, live for us in Charlotte. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm surprised the mom's not speaking up. Like, what's going on, lady? Why aren't you talking? And I hope to God it. I think SRB brought it up and about them possibly getting sold. It's like, geez. Why is nobody talking? Either one of them. Major companies dropping college degree employment requirement. Is it even worth is a college degree even worth something nowadays? You end up with so much debt now, Let's see. No suspect. Town on edge. I'm sure they are. Let's see here. Crouching. We pretty much had our own overlay viewpoint. I'm going to keep that video. That was a long one right there. Yeah, this whole storm. And then at the very beginning of this video, if you watch the replay, we went to Ryan Hall, y'all, and we watched the next week, 2 weeks of weather, week of weather, something, week and a half. And there's going to be some tornadoes coming out there. So, and 10 feet of snow in certain spots too. So, definitely check out Ryan Hall, y'all. His latest video talks about the next week and a half. It's going to get nasty in some places, whether it's tornadoes, rain, or snow. Very good graphics and stuff too. Let's see, 2 months. Wow, that's a long stream. I'll save that for another night. Holy crap. And we watched that one. What happened at the corner club? All right, let me see here. Cops confronted. Inside edition. Let me see what this one is here. Inside edition.
Hello, miss. What's your name?
Police confront one of the Idaho University murders. Body cam video obtained by a web sleuth shows cops at the house where the murder
Oh, look at that.
happened for the second time in one night.
She got on YouTube. That's cool.
Xana Kernodle comes to the door.
I hope everybody can get on there. You know what I mean? And then for that dude on News Nation, the bald guy with the glasses with the big ass goatee, saying we're. That's just crazy. Even Scott Reich and Scott Reich's Crime Talk video from today, if you go watch that one, we played that one earlier. He responds to that too, right at the end of the University of Idaho stuff that he talks about before he gets into the Delphi topic. And his comment was right on too. It's just like, he was like, no. And this is right here. You know, these news sources go to the YouTube people because they have real shit.
And an officer reads her the riot act.
This is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
I'm sorry
Okay.
about that.
So this time it was the blonde gal and the guy on the back porch playing music. Okay. So
I sincerely apologize about
Okay.
that. I'm just going to bed.
Okay. So just so you understand, you could be getting a misdemeanor citation for this, which means you have to go in front of a judge and explain why you couldn't keep the people in your house quiet.
The incident
Whoa.
happened over Labor Day weekend, 7 weeks before the brutal murders. It's 12:40 a.m. Xana was the only one of the 5 women who lived there who was home. She told cops another victim, Madison Mogan, was at the Corner Club, the same sports bar where she and slain Kaylee Gonzalez spent their last evening alive. That's them caught on a just-released surveillance camera image a couple of hours before they were murdered. Body cam makes it clear the house was party central and the noise was infuriating neighbors.
We can hear you from
Wow.
clear down the road when we were coming up here. We can hear the music because
I'm
the
so
neighbors are being
sorry.
kept up.
Meanwhile, the 7-week
Wow.
investigation into the murders appears to be stalled.
Oh,
Cops
it's okay,
issued a
Silky.
strongly worded
I'm sorry about that, Silky. I hope your night gets better. It's all right. I'll probably be ending it here pretty soon. I'm really gonna try my ass to be on in the morning tomorrow, through the early afternoon, because I have a feeling there might be a press conference from Moscow tomorrow, and I got a feeling that we might be having some information coming out. So I really am going to try and be on in the morning to the early afternoon, maybe do a 5 or 6 hour stream early in the day, and then also, you know, do my Friday nightly 7 p.m. Central show. And yeah, what's up, Silky? I hope your night gets better, for real.
appeal asking the public additional pictures, video, and social media content to help solve the murders.
When you ask the public generally for help, it means you're stuck.
I spoke with former FBI agent Maureen O'Connell. Do you think the suspect was known to the victims?
I think the victims were known to the suspect in some way, shape, or form. And it could have been something innocuous, like someone that just works at a convenience store, or would see these girls going out to, hang with their friends, and they were very beautiful and popular. I could see someone becoming.
And even though I'm going to be ending the stream for the show, I still might end up on Twitch tonight. By the way, Phantom, did you enjoy the Jackbox? What'd you think?
Fixated on them in that regard.
Idaho police say they've now received more than 12,000 tips in the case.
Wow, I heard them say a lot more than that. I heard him say a lot more than that. And I definitely, Silky, the next, I'm going to save your latest video that you came out with. I'm going to save, whenever you get on next on the panel, I'd like to have you on there to talk about all the stuff that you were talking about in your latest video. I think that's very interesting. Oh, that's okay, Phantom. I appreciate you. Yeah, Silky, I'd definitely like to have you on and promote all that. Oh, damn, I need to get a Mega Million ticket. All right, I pretty much, let me see, that was a good video right there. I think, let me see, talks about search efforts. Ooh, I do want to watch that. Queen City News. I did miss that. Let me watch that. And then I'm going to check to see if there's any breaking updates. But yeah, I'm really going to try and be on tomorrow in the day, early morning.
Now at 4:30, the search continues for a missing 11-year-old from Cornelius. Madalena Kojikari has been missing for more than a month now, and she wasn't reported missing to authorities until nearly 2 weeks ago when her school got involved. Her mother and stepfather, who were supposed to show up in court this morning, are both facing charges now of not reporting her disappearance. So let's go ahead and bring in former FBI Special Agent Michael Tabman, who's been giving us some insight on this case. Thanks so much again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so yesterday, Cornelius Police released a video update on this case saying really quite bluntly that Madalena's parents aren't telling them everything they know. That is a direct quote there. So what, if any, additional charges can be brought against them at this point?
At this point, I don't know that there are any additional charges they can bring unless they have some evidence of child abuse, child neglect, which is almost self-evident in the fact they didn't report the child missing, which is what they're charged with. So I don't know that they can do anything further other than to hope to break one of them with the belief that it'll be in their best interest to confess as to what happened. In that, we have parents, whether it be natural parents or step-parents, who did not willingly come forward to report a child missing, highly suspect. So the police do believe
very highly
that they're
suspect.
involved,
Come on, and then they're
therefore
not
know
talking.
something that they're just not.
Well, right, and to your point, and staying on that
What the hell,
comment,
Streamer?
what do you think would prompt police?
Yeah, and the parents ain't even talking still, and they're both in custody. Like, that's when one of them should be talking, you know? Unless, what others said in chat yesterday, maybe it's a case of being sold. I hope not for any of this. If they're not talking, there's that much distance between where they live and where he reportedly visited during the last day that they quote seen her. I mean, that's not good.
To go from, hey, parents aren't being helpful, to just coming out and saying, hey, they know more, and they're not telling us. Could they have potentially found something when they executed their search warrants? What in particular might prompt them to say
not
that?
Good.
Right. So it could be some physical evidence, maybe, a map when the stepdad, when driving, has a circle on it, let's say, or some directions, or something they found in the GPS that was not consistent with things they were told, that led them to believe he went somewhere else for a different reason. Or any of the statements they made, such as the stepdad saying he visited certain people to get things, and they found that not to be true. So that would give them more reason to be suspicious. So it could be physical evidence, but my feeling is that it just comes from the fact that they haven't spoken to them in all this time. They're in custody and they're not telling them something. It's clear, at least from the outside looking in, that these parents were involved. It's possible they were not, but certainly the evidence would indicate they were. And I think just the police know that they know something, and they're just simply not telling them. So I don't know that that has to be based on physical evidence as much as it is just drawing a natural conclusion from the investigation.
And as we know, the last time that we have video of Madalena Kojikari was before Thanksgiving.
So sad.
And then, as we know, her mother and stepfather didn't report her missing until 3 weeks after they last saw her. So from an FBI agent's standpoint, how frustrating is it to kind of be in this sort of stalemate right now, where you're not getting the information that you need, but there's still a little girl out there who needs to be found, and there's not really any leads at this point?
Having been in that situation during my career, I can tell you it is highly frustrating. There's a child out there, you want to save that child, you're hoping that child is still alive, and you're doing all you can, but in your heart, with each passing day, the odds of finding that child alive are less and less. So I understand what they're going through. It's very frustrating, and they will stay on it in terms of having command posts and the FBI participation. until they reach a conclusion that there's just no leads to follow at this time, no need to have a command post. There's very few leads coming in on the phone or people calling with information. There's nothing that they haven't searched that they plan on searching. So it's not a time limit as much as it is a conclusion that it's just a cold case at the time.
Right. There's no
This kind of
info.
stand-up is just no longer warranted. Not that
There's no info, and there's so much area to be covered.
it's not worth the time, obviously, but that's just not logical to keep doing that.
Yeah, just really a hard place to be in until we start to learn more information. Former FBI Special Agent Michael Tadman, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, that's definitely a good video. I mean, but yeah, if the parents aren't talking, I mean, what else? What else is supposed to go on in the case? One of them's got to talk, because that's such from the middle upper left of Michigan all the way to Carolina. I mean, that's a huge, and there's 3 different major road routes that you can take. You're as soon as you exit North Carolina where they were living, I mean, within a short distance, you're entering on each route. You're entering on some major mountainous. You got national forest on the left and national forest on the right, and then all the way up to Michigan. I mean, why are neither one of these parents talking? Something's up. Something's up. Hopefully we find out soon. I don't know. They got to crack at some point, right? Again, I want to thank you so much to Cherry for this beautiful logo. I appreciate it. Awesome. And let's throw up the Twitch version of this. So I might be on Xbox and Twitch with games later after the show here. So if you'd like to hang out, you can. Just make sure you click the link. If you don't have it, download the app, verify the email, and then just follow me, and which is free. And then just make sure you hit the notification so you know when I go live. I probably will be doing a Sims 4 episode either tomorrow or Saturday. Saturday, probably afternoon, is when I'm going to do the first part of my painting. And then we'll have the podcast or something like that. We might be doing something. It's going to be New Year's Eve, staying in. So if you're staying in as well and you're not going to be doing anything, you might as well come on over and hang out in the podcast. We'll be kicking it. At least for the first couple of New Year's, Eastern and Central. We'll be kicking it. And then who knows after that. But yeah, I'm going to get my painting, I haven't had a good setup figured out yet. But whether the setup is good or not, it doesn't matter. The painting will be happening Saturday. First part, it's going to be a 2-parter. It's going to be acrylic first part, and then colored pencil and crayon the second. It's going to be a mixture of an acrylic crayon painting piece of art. And then it's going to be going out to one of my best subs, Kelt. It's going to be a picture of Kelt's puppy, Pepsi. So that'll be exciting. It'll be exciting to do it. I'll be exciting to give it away. And then we'll be going on from paintings, different paintings after that. So that'll be fun once we get that introduced, and it will be starting Saturday. But yeah, definitely follow me on Twitch. And like I said earlier in the beginning of the stream, when it came to these other shutdowns and stuff, if anything ever does happen to me on YouTube, I will always be having the same show on Twitch. So you notify me there as well. Hope you have a peaceful and positive evening. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for all your information, your facts, your links, your contribution, and your brain stew. And this beautiful fucking logo. I love it. Thank you so much, Cherry. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a peaceful and positive evening, everybody. I will see you tomorrow.